Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come one, come all, to the greatest roll on earth. You may have missed us last week, but we're back in action and ready for adventure as our story continues to wind its mysterious way through the thread of problems, the strange blights affecting not only our circus, but the humble town of Aberton. I'm your GM Squiiddish, and I am joined, as always, by our wonderful cast of exciting folk over here to the side. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it backwards style, since we got a new face here. Let's start our introductions with Jared and go around that way.
Oh, it's gonna be me. Okay, I'm Jared. You guys know me. I'm one half of the creative directing team here at the DAT Network. I'm a streamer in my own right over on The Real Gobshite. I am a cinematographer based in LA. Google me. That's where we're landed in this intro. So that's it. I'm gonna push it over to over here, Sam.
Let me catch it. Whoop. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a Friday streamer here on Twitch, and I am playing your very lovely barbarian bearded lady, Ka Splat. She's amazing. And also, I missed everyone last week, so this is gonna be fun. Let me toss this up to Ash.
Wait. Oh, I dropped it. We'll get back to you. I'm Ash, and I play Vera, your changeling hag sorcerer. I am a variety streamer. I'm a TTRPG enthusiast. I love getting to play Pathfinder and D&D, all things nerdy that way, and some anime here and there. You can find me at Arcane Faith with a Y on everywhere, pretty much. I'm gonna go. Oh, this way. It's gonna go. We can touch hands. I was like, I don't know, to pass it.
I got it. Hey everyone, I am new to the circus. I am Erin Steeby. I'm a full-time variety streamer here on Twitch, who also loves anime and video games, but I am playing an elf ranger today by the name of Tav Talvana. Thank you guys for having me. Who do I pass it to? Do I pass it to Squid?
We'll take it here. Thank you.
Woo!
And I am Squiiddish, your game master, ringmaster, storyteller, whatever we want to call it for this evening. Your assortment of antagonists, your horrifying demons, and occasionally people that are actually friendly and at least a little bit helpful, but that's certainly a minority at this point. You murder everything. So I don't think there's really... Bodhi Perp attempts to murder everything, so I don't think there's a huge amount of a line there.
I murdered one guy. One guy by accident.
Does that make it better?
Yeah.
It's okay, it was only one murder.
It was only one guy.
Before we get back into our festivities today, thank you, Diablo93AH, EQ Washu, Chocobo Guy, the Mellow Deviant, Gunnair, Confused Bystander 13, the follows, and God Danuzo and Jared for the resubs. You're on there, so I'll say it. Last week we weren't here. The week before last, in our previous episode, boy howdy, is everything in town way worse than it seemed like it was in the beginning, and it already seemed like it was pretty bad. Heading into town to investigate everything that had befallen not only our circus, but apparently the humble folk of our host city of Aberton, we fought angry, drunk gangsters in a bar, and then we went into a church and fought horrible, horrible demons of a wide variety. Some that are just kind of your classic goat-legged, gnarly horn, angry demon. Some your flappy winged imp variety, and some your worm wearing the outer flesh of another person as a puppet kind of flavor. It wasn't a great time, really. But after, all of that, it was most certainly time for us to head back to our circus campground, rest, recuperate, and possibly rethink the decisions that we had made in our lives that led us to this series of events of the last couple of days. Our story today is going to begin the following morning. As the circus family rises for a new day, a new dawn here. Still a couple of strange leads left in Aberton, and no real word from the mayor yet, who had gone to meet with the druids up in the hermitage to the north. Your typical morning preparations, your meals, your bathing, your prayer, whatever it may be, are interrupted as it's becoming the norm by the approach of a new figure. And as most of you were gathered around the cook pot near the creek out behind the tent, you would see, well, Erin, who would they see approaching?
They would see me. I approach as I am an elf ranger. So I have a bow and arrow and a few other things on my side. I have a little dagger and I have some pretty big noticeable elf ears. But I would say I feel like I'm wearing mostly green and just like some kind of like I have nature attached to me, like leaves and stuff. A couple things, not like I'm just covered by one leaf, you know, but like there's maybe a few here and there, but I definitely have a pouch with some remedies in there as well, made of leather. So, yeah. Do I
Is
just
it
walk
like,
up?
I'm losing the term. Is it intentional leaf coverage, or did you just like roll out of a tree and you got some bush left in your hair or something?
Yeah,
you,
there's
like,
some in my hair. There's some in my hair. I think some maybe like more pieces of like, you know, bamboo or something, just like a really long leafy palm, or maybe wrapped around as like a bandage or something on my upper arm. But yeah, maybe there's like a cool twig in my hair too. I like that. Something to just like, I don't know, blend in. Or so I think.
Well, it's going to blend into a forest, perhaps, but it's definitely not so much going to blend into the small campground that the circus has set up behind their tent. You would see this figure approaching, not one that any of you at the circus recognize, either from the circus or even a passing face that you would have seen throughout Aberton, but she appears to be quite well equipped. As she said, a bow and arrow, according to your character sheet, also a short sword and also a hatchet and also several daggers. Up with leather armor underneath all of this, so very armed and prepared.
Very prepared.
Kev, as you had come and investigated following whatever leads that brought you here, your discussions with the townsfolk would have told you that these fine circus folk seated before you, just kind of nonchalantly eating breakfast as they are actually the best link the town has to all of the woes that have befallen it in recent days.
Yes. So can I approach them?
Yeah, you would be, I imagine we're starting with you approaching them, as there's not just the three here, but you would see it's a fairly large operation they have. You see an entire family of acrobats, a group of dwarven gymnasts,
I know how
people
to do that.
in all kinds of crazy costumes and outfits. There'd be a pair of elves juggling flaming torches in the background, as they are literally always doing. They seriously never stop.
Quite a place this is. Pretty active.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Well, the show isn't for a couple hours. Were you wanting to come?
I'm passing through. I heard there was something that happened here recently, so I came to check it out. Not necessarily for the show.
Oh, there's a lot going on. I can see that you have some weaponry. Are you experienced?
Yes, I am. I was actually raised. I'm Tav Talvana, by the way. I'm part of the Talvana tribe.
I'm so sorry. I'm Vera.
Villages out. Hi, Vera. Nice to meet you. I came to explore. I'm just, a regular old adventurer, but I just came to check out what's going on here.
I'm gonna elbow Kasplat and be like, look at her. She has so much stuff.
She's knee deep in
so much stuff.
Food. She has heard a little bit of this. It's just like, my goodness, Tabitha really went all in this. What? Oh, there's a new person. Hi, my name. Hi, I'm Splat. It's nice to meet you. And she's like wiping whatever
gonna
she's
help
been
a little
eating
bit.
from her mouth. Sorry about that. What can we do
Hey.
you for?
No worries. I'm just passing through, and I didn't come to see the show, but I just came to check out what's going on. I like the stunts they're doing over there, the acrobats and
Yeah.
stuff.
They're
Very
very
lively.
talented.
What do you guys do here?
Oh, well, as you can tell, I've got a very beautiful beard.
It's very beautiful.
And these great big muscles. She's gonna flex them, like you just see the veins. She's gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do you do? What do you? You got a lot of muscle. Do you lift?
Oh.
Do you lift a lot of stuff?
Yeah, you want to see?
Sure.
She comes over to lift
Yeah.
you if you give her permission.
As Kasplat comes over to you, you would all see, three of you, of course, would recognize this face, but an older man, a little hunched, shock of gray through his hair, pretty severe burns across the front of his throat, some kind of mottled scarring as the professor comes over and sees Tav just sort of rise up above the crowd as Splat picks her up. What, is this one of the druids? Oh, did the mayor come back then?
Oh no, this is a guest. She's gonna
Yeah,
put
put
you
me
back
down, please. I
There you
prefer
go. She's gonna
control
pat
my
your
height.
head.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you are very strong. Very strong.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice job. Oh, don't ever do that again, though.
You got it.
Thank
I
you.
respect boundaries.
Thank you. I do too. I think we're gonna get along.
Well, welcome, I suppose.
Hi.
Sorry, Kasplat, you seem familiar enough. Is this a friend of yours? I didn't know you had any contacts out in Aberton before
I
we
just
came
met her.
here.
Yeah, I'm Tav. I'm passing through, and I wanted to see what was going on here. I heard there was a lot of commotion. Some people passing through the village nearby said that something happened here.
I understand completely then. Oh, well, absolutely fantastic. You can just call me the professor. Everybody does at this point. Yes, this is fantastically fortunate. Well, Kasplat, carry on. Don't let me interrupt then. You seem to have this, very well under control. But have
right,
you
nice
heard
to meet you.
anything from Mayor Aberton? He was supposed to return yesterday evening, if I believe.
I don't think so. I literally went to bed as soon as we got back. That was a really bad day in town. Never want to do that again.
So I've heard. As a matter of fact, I was just speaking with Tabitha back in the kitchen, and I believe she is, absolutely refusing to head back into Aberton again after, well, as she said, everything.
Yeah, watching a
She's still mad at me.
I don't know if it's quite so directed necessarily. It just seems to be a general purpose, non-directional mad at, well, you know. He just kind of gestures out towards the entirety of the town.
I mean, we did watch a demon crawl out of a man's mouth, and had him as a skin bag. That was kind of bad.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't blame
I
her.
don't really know how to reply to that, but let me handle Tabitha. It's not the first time I've had to very cautiously talk her down to some reasonable level of sense. Although I suppose this degree of self-preservation probably does make a perfect amount of sense, honestly. Anyway, the point is convenient timing then, Tav.
Yeah. Clearly.
Well,
You need some help?
He kind of looks back over towards the kitchen. No, I think I will just take my time with my breakfast this morning, I am in no particular hurry to head back into the big top. Carry on.
All
I see
right.
a bit of almost fear towards the direction of the tent in the kitchen. He knows what he must do, but he doesn't know he has the strength to do it.
She's gonna take a big bite of her biscuits and gravy. She'll be like, good luck to him. Tabitha's a firecracker to deal with.
Yeah, if she doesn't want to do something, she will not.
Nah.
But Tab, if you, I guess we're kind of getting roped in with trying to find the mayor now. Would you like to join us? Because we need somebody strong and can wield a weapon.
Wait, I'm
Sure.
strong.
Why
Yes,
not?
but I'm also very worried about Bodhi. He will need more protection. Also, I'm worried about him throwing up fire again.
Oh,
Yeah.
throwing
Only
a fire?
One time, but 2 times.
Level
Only
10.
the 2 times.
We can
Happens.
roll with that. Yeah, I've got a few things for burns in my.
Well, that's
Text
why
actually,
Tabitha's
yeah.
mad at me, I think.
Probably. You vomited
And,
a lot.
It was so
Ev,
bad.
as you look down at this little gnome here,
Uh-huh.
you're not sure what it is, if it's just a terribly unfortunate disfiguration or whatever, but you don't really notice until he turns and looks at you, because it's kind of confined to one side of him. But
Mhm.
half of his face seems to just have grown into his shoulder in a series of like knotted lumpy whorls of very deep red flesh. For the rest of you, it looks a lot better than it did yesterday, but it
So much
definitely
better.
still looks real bad.
What is that
Squid. Is it the left side or the right side?
Dealer's choice.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say the right side. So the left side is the lichen burns from like being struck by lightning. So I go from this like
Okay.
crack or burn pattern into this like mass flesh thing.
Not pleasant to look at all.
Oh my
No,
It
god.
looks
Good time.
better.
Ooh,
It's a lot better than it was yesterday.
that's a pretty intense mark you got there, friend.
It's the worm thing bit me. Bit me right in the arm.
Oh, it bit you. Can I see
It's
if
a
I have
gnarly
something
thing.
like to help with that
I'm
at all?
Are you a
What?
healer?
I know medicine.
Yeah, you are trained in the medicine skill.
Okay.
So, Erin, if you want to roll me a medicine check, which would just be a d20 plus your modifier in your medicine skill, which are you use a path builder?
Yes, yes, path builder. Hmm.
A big list of skills, kind of
Yes.
bottom left.
Hmm.
Your medicine
Plus 5
should
to
be in there.
medicine.
Yep. So d20 plus 5.
Okay. And where do I roll that? Oh, down here? Okay.
Either in roll 20 or just with a physical die, whatever, however you want to do it, really.
Okay,
We
roll
have no-
20.
no-
Where is it
that.
on roll 20? Right
If
there.
you, on the sidebar, there's either like a rolling
Mm-hmm.
tool, or you can type into the chat box literally /roll space d20. That's probably easier. That's what I do. I think it's easier, but whatever's easier for you.
Flash roll d20?
Yeah.
Okay. I rolled.
Oh,
20?
natural 20.
Yeah, that's 20. Yeah.
Wow!
First roll of the night.
Look.
And first one.
Oh,
Absolute banger.
that's amazing.
Plus, do you add it
Oh.
on to plus?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Plus
so it is
5.
20, 25, unnatural 20. My favorite thing of using a virtual tabletop is walking someone through how to roll, and I swear it's a nat 20 almost every. I swear they seed it to get new players to stay on the platform. So I just handed out the nat 20s. I can't blame them. It's a
That's
good business
amazing.
strategy.
Yeah.
But
Still.
that's a critical success. So as you look down at this that he has, you can see a bit down towards the end of it in his shoulder, still some dark hawks in this gnarled, knotted flesh, this strange growth upon his side here, where the thing's jaws bit into him. But as you look it over, it's not anything that was caused directly by the bite itself. This doesn't look to be the work of a poison or even a disease of any kind. The origin of this growth, this warping of flesh, is almost certainly magical in nature.
Okay. So,
But definitely, certainly, with a critical success, it's a literal curse that this demon carries.
it's a literal curse.
He is actually cursed.
Okay. So I can try to find something in my satchel to like help with it or no?
That's the hard part. Curses
Okay.
are hard. If it was just like a wound or even a weird, like mutilated growth, probably. But even with
But
the
in
nat
this
20, the
case-
best you could do is identify that it is a magical curse.
Okay. So can I take a look at you real quick, Sir Dwarf? What's your name?
Nah, I'm a dwarf.
Well,
He's a
Yeah,
gnome.
You're a dwarf. Got it.
Dwarf.
Yep.
I am Bodhi Purple Dispute.
Hello, Bodhi Purple. Nice to meet you. May I take a closer look at your this area on you?
I like glance to Splat and and Vera and just like,
I promise I won't bite.
do I trust this person who walked into camp?
She's
I
got twigs in her
mean-
hair. You can trust her.
Yeah.
I just want to see if I can identify it. It looks kind of familiar to me.
What?
This looks like.
I guess have at it. Have fun.
Okay, thank you.
Leave more than
So-
you take.
I approach carefully and kindly and take a look. And I recognize that it's a curse of some sort. So this is now, can I just go ahead and roll with it? Or do you tell me what the curse is?
If it does anything, the medicine is basically a skill, like literal medical training. So when it gets into this is a magical demon curse,
Okay.
medicine isn't able to
No, it's
tell
not
you
gonna
anything
work.
about that, right? But not with that critical success and knowing it's a curse and knowing it's from a demon. I see you're also trained in religion. You could use that to attempt a secondary check and roll me a religion, also at a +5.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. Absolutely.
Another natural 20. Come
Oh
on.
no.
Let's do it again.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it again. Just do it again. You can
Round
totally
two.
do it again. Do
I mean,
it.
identifying a
crazy.
curse through purely physical means is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a curse. Is that a plus? What was it on that? A plus 5 on religion, yeah.
Definitely a
Bad.
curse.
So yeah, you have a curse. Bodhi Perp, you do. It's kind of gnarly. I don't have anything that could help. Maybe a mage or somebody magical could in the long run, but I can definitely tell you that you are absolutely cursed.
And a lot of the circus people around kind of make a lot of space. People are kind of stepping back, inching away. The professor looks over, just looks back at his food and sort of pivots a bit further away from you.
Well,
I
it's
didn't
not
mean to kill
contagious.
the man.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
At least
mean-
it's
only
better
cursed.
than we knew. We don't know yet what it was yesterday.
I mean, you were bit by demons, so
Then I
kind of makes
Well,
sense.
yeah. I'm sorry
What
to
if you're
say.
now half demon?
It's been
Yeah,
rough.
it would be kind of cool.
That would be terrible.
That would
Are
be
you gonna
great
have something
for
come
cat.
out of? Would something come out of your mouth? Or
I don't.
is there a centipede
Wanted?
creature kind of? We gotta stop what's happening
Hey.
here.
Never been bit by a demon.
That's fair.
I would say we could go to the church, but that's where I got bit. So
I don't know if a church is going to help. You might need some high mystical person for this particular curse.
Yeah.
Higher than a church if you got bit by a demon, you guys said?
Yeah, the
well, I'm
capitalist
thinking-
church is not gonna be able to help him. I don't think.
No way. I'm with you.
He's a capitalist.
Sarah.
It's not wrong. It's just funny.
Vera's just gonna call him the capitalist church because
The Church of Getting Rich.
Yeah. Pyramid scheme.
Also,
I mean,
we gotta find you help. And the mayor.
Yeah.
Maybe the mayor will know where to get you help.
That's a good idea.
If you find the mayor, then we can fix your old neck.
Yes, that'd be good. But what if
Well-
the mayor's dead like the sheriff?
Then that would suck. You'll
Did
never
you-
know unless you try.
Wait, did you find the sheriff? I thought
Oh,
she
no.
was just
Oh.
missing.
Sorry, Professor. I'm just taking a guess.
So, Kev, since, well, as you could probably imagine, none of us seem to be quite such experts in curses. Would you say, hypothetically, that this is, well, the kind of curse that's contagious?
I would say no. I think you all would have also experienced some crazy pustules on you. When did you get bit? Yesterday?
About 8 hours ago.
Oh, it might be too soon to tell. To be honest, I'm not quite the expert in this, but I'm gonna bet. I don't know at this point. It's just too. I feel like you would have it by now. This kind of curse, but
Maybe. Skin smooth like a big
I feel like the 12-hour mark is a good.
But it is
You
better
know-
than it was last night.
here,
I
I'm gonna
have
take
an
my
idea.
endless tankard and just pour booze onto him to see if I can clean it. Just take it and just be like,
Well,
just
That's one way
maybe
to do
clean
it.
out a little bit more. Just clean it out.
You
Alcohol.
said something about a barn that was all the way outside of town in the other direction. Didn't you have a lead way over there that was worth pursuing?
Yeah, but it has wasp.
Oh,
I thought that was
Oh,
the
not that
that was
No,
the
that was the
mill,
Millers.
I believe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
also
there was.
right there. I can see that building from here. No, the barn way over there. Sounds like where you should probably continue your investigation today, Bodhi Perp especially, but the rest of you also.
I think the professor wants
I
us
feel
to
like you're
leave.
trying to dismiss me, Professor.
No,
I
of
feel
course
like you don't
not.
want me around.
No, Bodhi Perp, you're an invaluable asset to you're a lighting technician for a show that takes place in a tent in broad daylight. I mean, that's incredibly important to
It's-
our
I know
performance.
Every time you belittle what I add to the circus, every time.
It's not belittling. I'm just saying that there's an entire god for the sun, and I have never heard of a god of ring lighting.
You know what, Tabitha? The professor
Yes,
hates your food.
honestly,
And I leave.
I think the
Turn it off.
professor was
you
Uh, I want to grab a couple muffins, hand them to Kasplat, and be like, Tab, do you want to come with us? We're going to a barn and maybe dealing with more demons.
oh yeah, great. I mean, if it's a barn and there's animals, I'm all about that. Barn is like tiny in comparison to the wild, so sure, yeah. Demons, no
I
problem.
like her.
Long I've got time.
I appreciate this because I'm worried about him as I watch Bodhi Spurt just walk off.
And
Okay.
the rest of you follow your way back towards the wonderful town of Aberton, where everything is great and nothing goes wrong ever.
Beautiful place.
Nope.
As you walk that short distance towards the main road and back to town, got a whole bunch of channel follows, actually. Fabio is Butter, Zenerly Frozen Ego, Garibaldi 75, I thought that was a 1, but that's an I. Airsoft Wabbit, Bear King 08, Martinis 42 at 6, Sassy Big Blue, and 64-Bit Bear. That's a bunch of people. And then Kevin Alexander, thank you for the subscription. Adam Kimbleton for gifting one. I had to do that. That's cool support. Thank you. So, the four of you, following Bodhi Perp as he kind of beats feet away from the campgrounds here. Yeah, you other two members of the circus would not be the first time that you've seen him and the Professor butt heads, including literally the lead up to your opening night's performance. As you get into town and onto the main road here, you see a kind of impressive gathering of townsfolk that are sort of lined around the street. It looks almost like a loose, I don't know, mob is the word that comes to mind. There's clearly a decent ring of them around something, which is kind of impressive because Abberton's not very large. There's not a ton of people in it. But you're passing right through the middle of the town as you're going straight to the opposite side. And as you get closer, the attitude here is very upbeat. It's very happy. They're all very interested in whatever is going on in the middle of all this. And it's punctuated by a gout of fire, a cone surging up from the center of this ring to oohs and ahs and applause from the crowd around.
I want to approach because I'm kind of curious.
And you hear a woman's voice ring out, not shouting, almost just conversational, but amplified, loud enough to carry and ring out throughout the entirety of this ring of Abertonians that have been drawn to this whatever it is that's going in here. Prepare yourselves and your souls, people of Abberton, for a cavalcade of celestial marvels! For sights so spectacular and so marvelous, you'll still speak of them forever after with awestruck tears in your eyes. Prepare for the show to surpass any you've ever seen, yesterday or in days before. Prepare for the dawning of Mistress Dusklight's celestial menagerie! And at the end of that, a lion's roar emanates out from the middle to the uproarious applause and cheers of the crowd gathered around.
Oh god, it's them. Can I see who's making that noise?
As you get in, you can see a trio of figures that you would recognize, all three of them. The speaker's a pretty tall, broad-shouldered woman with a coiled rope whip in her hand. 1 foot up, almost Captain Morgan pose on a stool next to her, as this white tiger with stark black stripes across its back kind of circles around her, roaring out and pandering to the crowd. She's got a very bright purple, almost just like a 3-piece suit with a broad-brimmed top hat above her head, and clean white gloves as she's surrounded by 2 more figures, a shirtless man covered in strange, billowing tattoos, almost like fire and smoke across his body, with a pair of metal batons he's twirling in his fingers as he punctuates his movements by pulling them across his face and breathing small little wreaths and rings of fire just before the crowd. And a clown on the other side of her, brilliantly bedecked in polka dots, blues and reds and yellows, bright spots and colors and balls, but adorned upon an orc man who's about 6'6", massively stacked, rippling carved muscle, more the like bodybuilder type of build than Kasplat, who was alternating ridiculous cartwheels and acrobatic performances with poses and flexing for the gathered crowd.
How loud do I have to speak my spells?
It would certainly be odd if... Are you gonna shit their pants?
No,
Yeah, no, 100%. If I can do it, like, behind Kasplat so that no one hears me too much, I want to make the ringleader smell like shit with prestidigitation.
And I do the same thing, but with the clown.
It's
happening!
I'm
I'm
traveling
gonna
with
do
us.
it!
Welcome
Here
to the
you
party,
go.
Erin. I hope you enjoy your stay.
Yes, characters. I'm an adventurer for a reason.
Your spells would definitely draw the attention of the crowd that is around you, but it's loud enough and their attention is diverted enough that I would
Can
let
I do, like,
you
a stealth
roll
check?
a stealth. I would absolutely let you roll a stealth check against the actual performers because there was enough going on here to distract and obscure the sound of your casting.
This
See,
is what
this is
I
a
do!
recurring theme.
Okay, only a 15. Hey, we both did 15.
Nice.
15
We're
high
the
five.
same.
What's their perception DCs? You would send out these spells, and they would definitely hear casting. They would, because that's a failure, but not a critical failure, and only barely. They would notice, but not immediately pinpoint through the crowd who it had come from. And they would hear that, and you would see the fire breather is the one whose attention would be diverted the most, kind of scanning over towards the crowd, a little curious, but not stopping his act or anything. And the glare of their ringmaster shoots over towards your general direction.
I hide behind Kasplat.
Come here, baby. She's gonna hide you.
Thank you. That's the mean circus lady. The one that abused all of it. They're our rivals, but we escaped from them because they're bad people and they treat us like crap, and so we made our own circus.
I will straight up chop one of them up. You seem like nice people, and for them to treat you like that, I will take one on right now. I'm not afraid of anybody.
I love you, Tav.
You hide behind Kasplat, the speaker here, who you would all recognize as Daring Danica, a lion tamer with her beast Leandris here, one of the headliner animal performers from the Celestial Menagerie. You two are hiding, but Kasplat is real big and obvious, and she definitely sees Kasplat and focuses her gaze your direction as she turns back and uncoils her whip and directs her tiger back around, almost a full circle to put itself between her and the group of you.
So did you wait? Hang on. Did you cast prestidigitation on her?
I did. She smells like poop.
Okay, Kasplat just wants to say to the group, Daring Danica, more like Dookie Danica.
Can I prestidigitation it again to make that, like, louder?
I mean, you can... Absolutely.
I'm gonna help project Kasplat's voice. But not, like, loud, but I want to hear, like, through the crowd a little bit. Like, just enough so the crowd is like, oh, she poops her pants?
And there's definitely some kind of confusion here as you are all on the scene, and many of the figures here obviously recognize you from the show that you put on. So they also kind of start backing away and expanding this ring, drawing more attention to the group of you, as you're sort of left at two ends of this encircling crowd across the Celestial Menagerie performers. And she continues, it isn't the circus of worthless wastrels who've come to your perfect, wonderful city of Aberton to take your coin for the mediocre performances.
Oh, it's really not kind to talk about you and yours like that.
And the crowd's a little confused, because at first they're like, oh, this is the circus. They don't know the difference. They've never seen one circus, let alone two. They couldn't imagine that there would be a second circus in Aberton. But this book obviously instantly adversarial, and they're just cheers and applause have turned to kind of murmuring and confusion. She steps down from her stool and picks it up in her free hand, sort of waves it in front of the lion's face as he rears up on his hind leg and roars out to the crowd again. Is that really what you believe, after everything you've tried to learn the Celestial Menagerie? That any one among your worthless vagabonds have anything close to resembling a captivating performance?
I mean, my opening show was flawless. Also, we killed some snakes.
Tattooed man, who you would certainly know is Victor Volcano, who you have definitely never been on the greatest of terms with, crosses the bars together in front of his mouth and blows out almost a cough, a blast of flame, like a localized explosion, a thunderclap. It puts a shockwave of air to the crowd, to the gasps of everyone. It's not terribly impressive, weaving fire with your sorceries and magic. Any fledgling wizard could do the same. And holds this rod up and inhales as almost a whirling snake of fire winds its way from his baton into his mouth.
Man, you poor crowd, you sure haven't seen our twins if you think that this is impressive.
You see the wonderful crowd around you, unscheduled, unannounced. We simply arrived, and they were so desperate for entertainment in the wake of your lackluster showings that they simply amassed at the very hope that some level of competence and entertainment could be brought to this fine city. Speechless.
I don't think they're worth our time.
Surprising.
What
You
would Tabitha
don't
do?
think the good
Tabitha
people
would rip
of
them a new
Abberton
one.
here. This city who has agreed to host you is worthy of your entertainment. Please, if you believe yourselves so competent, so practiced, so entertaining, prove it to them. Why
That's
don't we
what
have a
we're
show
meaning
right
to
here?
Tav while this is going on. So, obviously we're circus folk. Do you have anything you can do to, like, show them? Because they're gonna call you out on it.
I mean, I can do like flips and stuff. That
I can lift you in the air.
Yeah, and I can
throw
flip.
you.
Yeah, throw me, and then we
Can you land like a cat? Or are you gonna
I
break
can
your
land
neck?
like a cat. No, I can land like a cat. I absolutely can. I swing through the forest often. It's a thing, and but I saw like what those people were. You guys were doing up in the sky, kind of. I can do that kind of thing. So yeah, if you throw me, I might be able to do that. A flip or something and land on my
Yeah.
head.
So
Land
you're
like
an
a cat.
acrobat as of today, okay? You're one of our acrobats.
Okay, an acrobat. Got it.
And Victor Volcano, still in the front here, moves forward towards the group of you into this space, this no man's land between the two circus parties, and starts clicking his sticks together rhythmically, getting a beat going, looking around to the crowd and nodding to them as they slowly start to pick up on what he's doing and join in, picking up this clap. He twirls his batons around and starts his own performance. His two rods together, one on one side, he breathes this fire again. There's no fire on the batons like passively. They're not lit torches. They're just metal sticks that do have a strange little contraption at either end. A blackened steel grate punctuated by a series of round holes kind of spiraling down this mechanism on the tip that only seems to exude fire when he needs. And he breathes it in from one end, billows a cloud of smoke up around him, a ring hanging in the air, slowly expanding. As he tosses his other stick up into the center of it and blows his fire out, igniting both ends of the stick as it comes back down, and he catches it right in the middle. And he looks directly at Vera and grins as he bows down to the applause of the crowd.
Vera is going to step out and put her hand out for the baton.
And he will look at you as he's pick his head up, turn his hand over as if to extend it to you,
I'll take it.
then twirl it back as you reach out and stride back towards Danica.
Ugh. So Vera's gonna look at the crowd, like put her arms out and address them. Unlike what he says, I do not use magic for my acts. The magic that you saw on the night of our performance, our opening night, was pure. It was magical, but not magic. So, and I'm gonna look around and pull from my bag, let me see, do I have anything? I don't think I have anything. I have a torch technically in my bag. Since we were heading out, I probably have it on me.
You can't get anything from Victor Volcano, but as you try to take that and you're looking through your bag, it is clear you're like not prepared for this. Several members of the audience would be handing you like brooms and torches and stuff for you to use. They want to see you
Thank
go.
you.
They've seen you go.
Yeah. And I'm going to quickly almost create, from what they've given me, similars of what the fans that I have, that I twirl as I perform, and quickly light all of them, and wait till they all move away, and recreate the act that I did opening night, where I'm doing flips and backflips and dancing and just kind of doing the same routine, but in a smaller sense, in this small circle. But then as I do that as well, I do want to cast, could I... With illusionary disguise, does it have to be on a person? Or can I do it around me?
Illusionary disguise?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different illusion spells that do a particular thing.
Gotcha.
Disguise has got to be on a figure.
Okay. Then I will just use... I won't use any magic. I will just use myself. And I want to do a performance.
Alright, give me a performance
God.
check. Now the rest of you, as Vera's performing here, what are the rest of you doing? Are we watching? Bated breath?
Very much so. I'm still
Yeah, I'd say
taking
we're
in
watching.
everything that's going on.
I have no idea what's happening.
26.
Okay. So the 26 here. What did you roll?
An 18 plus 8.
That's pretty good. 26 is spectacular. And to your performance here, you have already given these people of Abberton an incredible show with your opening night. And before you're even finished, you have applause, uproarious cheers, whistling, piercing throughout the crowd. I mean, they clapped for him. There were some hoots, but they are all in for Vera's performance. It is not it's not comparable to what Victor got. And as you go, and as the crowd gets more and more on your side, you can see his scowl deepen.
And I'm going to finish with a flourish, and then set the items on the ground, and look for the people in the audience who gave me the stuff, and hand them pieces back, and if they're no longer salvage, I will help pay the replacement costs. I appreciate you adding to my performance today.
And as you're trying to hand these things back, it almost goes the opposite direction that you expect, as these people around the crowd are so impressed and so enthused and so enamored that they got to be part of the show here, that you have people like not taking their things so much as pressing coins into your hands and coppers and silver pieces into you. Absolutely over the moon. They got to contribute to Vera's show.
Thank you so much. And I'm gonna step back because Splat, and then I'm gonna look at him and be like, flip him the bird.
And at that, the clown, this massive orc man, looks over at Victor and just snatches the 2 batons out of his hand and marches over into the middle of the ring without saying anything. Looks at the group of you, one eyebrow kind of raised, looks out to the audience around him, looks down at the batons with a real, like, overly dramatic caricature frown. Tosses one of them down to the ground, takes the other one. One of these mechanisms in each hand. And just starts to bend this steel rod in half into a horseshoe shape. And he does this, gets the tips almost down to touching, picks one hand up and just flexes with it as he smashes the tip of it against his own neck to push it in the rest of the way, almost into a loop. And then casts it out of the dirt before the group of you. Picks up the other baton and bites down on the mechanism at one end and just wrenches the entire burner off the top of it, spits it in the dirt next to him, casting down the other stick, where he drops down to one knee with this just big grin on his face, like looking like he's roaring but no sound coming out, purely just mimed, as the crowd, almost sort of taken aback in awe, takes a moment to start their applause. That it's less cheering, it's less excitement, more kind of like, damn, oohs and ahs throughout.
He's scary.
He looks at Kasplat, puts two fingers up to his eyes, points at you, jacks a thumb across his neck, and backhand springs back over to Danica.
Well, that's not good for your teeth, and honestly, Tabitha makes better food than metal. Well, is there anything in my vicinity that I could utilize to show my strength?
Let's see. You've got a couple, again, people were trying to help you contribute here. You have a couple of local workmen handing out, like, mining picks, a crowd of men rolling over a huge barrel full of raw ore and stone. A couple of them just giving you an assortment of heavy things, big metal objects, stuff to work with. You also have Tev.
Yeah, I'm about to say, so she wants to kind of look at the crowd first and be like, you know, that act's been seen time and time again, bending metal, chewing metal. It's pathetic. But you know what I can show you? And she wants to take like all of these heavy things that are being given to her and kind of start stacking them on top of each other. Hey, Tav, are you brave enough to get on top of this? Like, this thing's gonna be heavy.
Absolutely.
All right. Here, I can give you a hand. So she's gonna get down like to the ground and cup her hands together to give you a boost on top.
And
All right, ready?
She's gonna climb up. Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Get up there. You good? Are you feeling safe?
Yep. She starts climbing to the top swiftly and quickly.
Okay.
And then I'm going to jump up to the top. And then she jumps up to the top and has to balance quickly.
Make me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
You got this.
All right. It is, let's see, +8. So then I do roll 20. Okay. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Oof.
Oh,
Okay.
for that, wait. I'm gonna give you my reroll.
Can you do that?
I'm gonna give you. Can I do that? Can I give her my reroll?
I mean, it's the Wild West out here. We do what we want, I guess.
We ain't got no rules. It's a circus showdown.
All right, I had one sawbuck left over from before, so roll one more d20 because I had T rolled. So
fingers crossed.
Nice.
And then
19.
19.
Okay. With a 19, you would be able, if you're not a part of this, you're not a performer by any means, but I mean, climbing up stuff like this is something like you're very well balanced, you're very dexterous, and it's no difficulty for you. You may not have that performative flair that these people have, but you have an impressive level of competence all the same, and you'd easily make your way up to the top of this pile.
Wonderful.
Haphazard as it may be.
Right. So she climbs up to the top and just in one, without flashy anything, just totally just jumps up to the top and lands on her feet and just goes, whoa, takes a second to balance. And then she balances. Okay, I'm good.
All right, I'm about to pick you up.
Okay,
Like,
I'm
this
ready.
is probably so heavy and like probably at least 10 feet tall with Tav up there. And so she's gonna wrap her hands together, get her arms around probably the barrel at the bottom, full of all these metal things, and lift with Tav. And Kasplat's going to want you to like know that she's going to like lift you up, and you can do any kind of flip off you want.
Okay,
So
great.
She's gonna lift.
Okay.
It's like above her head.
Perfect.
Me an
And then
athletics check.
Me.
Or wait, for Tav who?
For Kasplat, definitely an athletics check here. And it's less about whether or not you can make this raw strength and more about playing the crowd here. And after Tav's performance, they're definitely already very much on your side. So take a +2 circumstance bonus on that.
Cool, didn't need it, so now it's a 27. I'll take it.
Wow. Luck is on our side today, huh?
Well,
We are an
that's a
athletic
critical
group.
success. What do you guys do? Critically succeeds.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm tossing you up.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to make the things leave my hands, and I will catch them again, but at that moment, like, with the inertia.
Jump off.
Yeah.
And push off. Okay. Is there something that near me that I could like grab onto and like twirl maybe just like once? Can I use it to like grab onto it, and spring off and do a flip, or should I just, since I'm not
Absolutely. In the center of town here would be several lampposts or signposts that you could use. You got vertical metal lampposts for the street lights at night. You got horizontal cross beams hanging the signs for the inns and shops. You got whatever you need.
Okay, perfect. So the minute that Kasplat lifts me up, I jump with all my might, and then I do 2 flips in the air, and then grab onto the metal post that I see, and then I flip over to that and land on my feet on top of the post. I'm kind of a little shocked that I just did it because it happened so fast, and then I just stand up and try to look triumphant, like, holy crap, I'm a part of this crazy circus. This is kind of cool and awesome. I wasn't totally sure if I could do it, but I did it.
And with this, you get explosive cheers and applause from the crowd here. With a success and a critical success behind you, to the point where the crowd, as soon as this stack of things that could possibly fall over and kill them has safely come back down to the ground, is almost kind of swamping into you. This ring sort of collapses around the Circus of Wayward Wonders performers here. And those that are closer to the end of the Celestial Menagerie, you hear these raucous cheers and applause and hooting and hollering on your end. You literally hear booing at the other side of this, directed out towards the clown and the performers.
Also, because Splat's gonna, because you know the clown did this to her, she's just gonna wink at him.
Bodhi
more
Perp, make some
intimidating.
fireworks. Make some fireworks go off.
Oh, Bodhi Perp, I don't have any fireworks.
Use
But I do
something.
have- But I
Here,
do
there's
have
like
this.
there's like gunpowder in these barrels and stuff. We can make something fast.
I want to reach into my pocket
Ooh,
and she's
buddy.
like, "Oh, you may have a tiger, but I have a mouse." I raise ballast up. I'll do like a little flip in my hand, and then I'll find like a 4 to 6 year old child hanging out there, and I'll walk over to, and I'll just like put ballast in front of him. Ballast will stand up on his little hind legs, and just in perfect calm, be like, "Oh, hello, sir, and how are you this fine morning? Yes, quite
beetle.
exciting, isn't all of this?"
It's terrifying.
He'll just have conversations with, and then he'll go to the next kid. Like, "Oh,
This kind
no
of
wonder."
horrifying. Make me. I would go performance or diplomacy, your choice.
Looking at my stats, they're about the same. So let's do performance. 25.
Oh, we are on fire tonight.
Goodness,
What's gonna
garage
balance
we
that?
are.
That's how I turned into this monster.
A 19 on the die for a 25. You guys never stood a chance. At this point, the Celestial Menagerie performers are almost literally getting booed out of the streets here. As you see Danica just gesture to her clown and her fire breather and crack her whip to create a hole in the crowd on the other side as they kind of skitter and jump back from this. Her lion, head down, almost just like charging out into this gap, and the three of them, as she scoops up her stool, just wordlessly filing out after. Victor Volcano throwing a hateful little stink eye back towards Vera briefly as he goes, but they're on their way out.
And then Vera turns and just vomits a little bit, and like privately.
Oh,
that
because
was
Splat's gonna pat
nerve-wracking.
your back a little bit. It's okay.
I
It
hate them
happens.
so much.
Hey,
But you did so good.
Yeah, you guys were awesome. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna make it. Nice job.
You did.
You did so
Yeah.
good.
You lifted
If you ever
all
need
that
another
stuff.
job, we got you.
Oh, thank you. I might consider it. Do you
I
have like
like the
an
stress.
herb in my pocket of like a mint leaf? Do you want it, Vera?
Yes,
For like
please.
your nausea?
Thank
Can you
you.
just give that to her? You're welcome. Just suck on that
I'm
a
just
little
gonna
bit.
eat it for a little bit.
Yeah,
I
hang on to
never
that.
liked them. They're mean and cruel, and we gotta put them in their place.
Yeah, we
You
did.
still have this huge crowd around you here, many
no,
of
no, no,
which
no, no.
some of these parents and adults are literally trying to lift Bodhi Perp up almost crowd surf style. After Vera's nausea there, they give you a little gap and you see a couple people disappear into a nearby house, and they come out with a pitcher of fresh water over and a couple of mugs, just trying to help out as well. You got coppers and silvers littering the ground around your feet here, as you have become even more so almost the honorary heroes of Aberton here just for your performances, to say
There's
nothing
just
of
pick
the
it up.
literal demons that you've murdered.
Because Splat wants to approach an elder that potentially would know things. So I'm really glad you enjoyed their performance, but could you potentially let us know if you've seen the mayor anywhere? We really need to find them.
I don't get much dealings with Mayor Aberton, but I do normally see him down about the markets most afternoons. I ain't seen him in a pair of days at least.
Has he?
Why, is something...
Well,
He,
you know, as circus folk, we need to talk to him about some things. And it'd be really useful if we could find the man.
oh, of course. I can take you by his home if it's something urgent. His wife should be around, I assume.
Yeah, actually, I think that would be awesome. Because Splat's going to turn around to the group and be like, y'all down to go on a little field trip?
I'm down.
All right. We'd be delighted. Thank you.
And so as you pull yourselves away from this crowd here, having scooped up a litany of these small coins, assuming you, are you taking the
Oh yeah,
the money?
Oh,
I
yeah.
am
being tossed,
100%
take
taking
all
the
this
mother.
stuff? You end up picking up, it's all coppers and silver, all small denominations, nearly 13 gold, 12
Ooh.
gold, 7 silver, and 5 copper. You'd be picking
Sorry,
up
what
off
was
the
that?
ground here. 12
How
gold,
much? Oh, gold.
5 silver, 7 copper. If you want to just call it 13 gold for simplicity's sake, we can do that.
That's just I'm just gonna take gold.
Math hard, let's say 13 gold.
I will split that up later with the rest of everybody. Just kind of scooping it up as I go.
But as you make your way from this crowd and these people realizing the show is over, in great spirits dispersing back to their daily activities throughout Aberton, this old man, who introduced himself as Robert Smith, he's the Smith, leads you over almost largely the same direction you were already going, to the mayor's estate, over towards the south end of town. Near the edge, almost to where the town starts to give way into farms. It's definitely not the largest building in the town, but it is probably one of the larger homes. It's a far cry from an impressive mansion or anything. It is Aberton after all. But it is a fair enough, well-appointed 2-level estate. And he walks up to the porch himself. Just a moment, I'll introduce you. And
Thank you.
little kind of crooked grin on his face, reaches up for the knocker, and whacks the door a couple of times. It's not long before a blonde woman with all of her hair kind of loosely pulled back into a very wide, fat, almost like spherical bun at the back of her head. Clearly more just out of the way than like dressed to go into town. Opens the door. White smock over her clothes, marred with some colorful marks of assorted pastels. Oh, Robert, of course. And the circus folk. I didn't get a chance to tell you myself. Your show the other day was truly wonderful.
Oh,
And,
well, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Myth nods. These circus folk here, they were wondering if your husband was in Miss Aberton. And she shakes her head. Oh. No, I haven't heard anything of him for a few days, but I know he was taking a trip down to the Hermitage. And a lot of times he gets into things with Harlick down there. They're a fine, friendly host. It's not unheard of for him to spend a couple of days. It is quite the journey, after all.
About how far?
Oh, it's pretty far up to the north, almost down to the cliffs. Oh, it is down to the cliffs on the coast. I've never been up there personally, but I know it's damn near impossible to take a round trip within the span of sunlight of one day.
We can get down there one day.
Yeah, we probably should get some supplies and go. Just check on them.
Really bring stuff for that. We could go back and get us.
Well, why? Robert, is something amiss? And he just kind of shrugs and looks at you guys.
It's more that we want to inform the mayor of some activities that have... And Vera's, like, trying to come up with words that doesn't say her husband's dead. She's trying to be very, like, we don't think her husband's dead. Like, she's trying so hard to be, like, very, like, oh, this might be a widower now. So, we're, you we just want to
check. We could start there. Let's see how that goes. Then
cool.
You know what you say?
What's my deception? I don't usually... Oh, +8. I'm pretty good.
Charisma caster.
Oh my gosh.
26?
Today, banana.
Oh, wow!
We're the best!
No, I'm on fire today.
Literally. Literally.
That's the same thing. You've rolled twice, and it's been an 18 + 8 both times today.
Am I broken? I'm just gonna roll again to see what happens.
Give me a 1.
Don't ruin it! Don't ruin it!
Okay, I'm good.
I'm glad you got that out of the way.
I got that out of the way. Now I'm gonna get another 18 + 8.
That's 11. That's even above average. But you... Yeah, if you, the player, can't think of exactly how to do that, your Vera here is at +8 apparently quite adept at this.
She's just trying to come up with ways that don't say that her husband's dead and just trying to assure her that we just want to talk. But Vera, even though she's good at deception,
who is alive.
Yeah, your husband who is alive. We just want to.
He's not unalived.
It's yes. Yeah, we just want to let him know what's going in town. We have some new developments.
Oh, well, if you don't want to make the journey quite all the way up to the Hermitage, I know it's fairly early now, and you could, probably make it before the afternoon's gotten too late. That's if you knew exactly where you were going. There's not super clear roads to it or nothing. You could find the sheriff. She could help out with a great number of things. It don't have to be necessarily a crime been committed. She's just a real helpful community leader sort. Or maybe I could.
No, we should really possibly talk with the mayor. Or check out the barn. I look at Splat.
Yeah, the barn. We got an elf. She likes wilderness.
Mrs. Mayor.
Barn.
The sheriff's not here, is he?
The sheriff? No, usually my husband has most of the dealings with her, so I don't get the pleasure of meeting with her very frequently, except when we have her over for a lovely supper. Hasn't been for a couple of weeks, though. I should really organize one.
I look back to the group. Okay, not here. Good.
Yeah,
one
we
place
know.
One more question. Do you happen to know someone who's good in dealings of purses? Because if you look at our little friend, and she's gonna like bend over to Bodhi first. He's got a little something going on. Might want to get that.
At this point, Robert, raising a hand, excuses himself politely here. He's had his introductions. I think he's got stuff to do, and takes his leave. As Lady Aberton looks, well, I do know one person that I could think of that might have a Chaplain Drend down at the Golden Laws Church. And she points out the door to the church where you fought all the demons. If you stop by over there, I know he's got a fair bit of Abadar's magic behind him. He's touched up quite a few broken arms and shattered ribs in our fair town in the last couple of years.
Yes, the church. That makes sense. Well, it's all the questions we have.
Yeah, let's get out. We'll get out of your hair.
If you're hoping to wait for my husband, I have to imagine he'll be back pretty soon. Please, you can come inside. I can offer you a drink. I have some fine leftover pork from the festivities we had for the farmers the other day. It's still perfectly spiced, and honestly, most is still warm. Don't feel it. Don't let me impose upon you. If you got things you need doing, of course, I would just.
Yeah, maybe later. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, maybe we'll.
Well, it has been a pleasure meeting each and every one of you again. What a wonderful little show you put on for us the other day.
Anytime. Make sure you come down to our next one, okay? Tell your friends.
All right, I'll be sure to tell my husband when he comes back. Head up down to your campground to meet with the group. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes. Thank you.
Right. And with a quick goodbye,
back away.
Closes
And the door, like, just as the door closes, I would like look to everyone and be, I don't think Mayor's coming back. Just like the sheriff. Probably dead.
We can hope.
What do we do now?
This town is
We
messed up.
You're most of the way now you're at the far side of town, so you are most of the walk towards the Lindell barn. If you wanted to continue where you were going in the first place, the opposite direction, and what sounds like the better part of a day's journey, the northeast, without any real roads and on the cliff side, the coastal cliff sides, is somewhere the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning.
Yeah, let's go to
Probably should go
the
to the
barn.
Barn? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's
The barn.
zero awkwardness here now. Everyone's perfectly comfortable with the goings on.
So very
Yeah.
much.
No dead people, and
Bernie.
churches are great.
Yeah.
This town is
I
awesome.
didn't even beat her.
We're fine. It's fine.
I wanted to beat the ringleader so bad. I hope you know.
Yeah. Why do you think I made her smell like poop?
Yeah.
That was
We'll get
funny.
a chance.
It was a toss-up
Thank you.
between the mouth or just beating her for my trick.
Not murder. Well, I kind of almost want to, but maybe later.
All right, if Tabitha was here, she would say we don't need to be doing all this violence talk.
That's fair.
But we'll
That's
get him
true.
next time. Let's take Tav to the barn, because I feel like she'd
Yeah.
like it there.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Check out the barn.
All right. There's some animals in there.
That'd be nice.
Or demons, we'll find out soon.
Or
No,
demons.
or
50-50
both.
We'll demons
It
have
could be anything.
Gosh. All right. Let's go. I'm ready.
But leaving the real central hamlet of Aberton, most of the homes and what few little shops and amenities they have behind, the road quickly turns to a much less maintained, much less traveled, bumpier but wider dirt passage that heads through many of the outlying farms that occupy the hilly grasslands that expand out around Aberton in most directions. You know, the Lindell barn is near the furthest one out. The directions you got had it the second furthest down towards the left as you walk, and it's not terribly difficult to locate, as there's not really a great number of them. But you'd walk for probably 10-15 minutes more. before you came in sight of what must be their land. Now, the farm itself, like most others around, is little more than a massive, sprawling pasture, as most of what they keep out here are animals and livestock, more than farmlands that are going like corn or cabbage or whatever. Though at first view, there are no animals really of any kind, save for assorted small birds scattered throughout their pastures. The only building you immediately see on their land, save for a very small, little humble cottage on the side of the road, is a 2-level barn, pretty far back, almost at the opposite side of the area itself. And we have a bunch of cool things that I guess Vera finds on the side of the road as you guys make your way down here. First of all, P-Switch, thank you for the follow. But second of all, coming from D-Man1198, you gave your sawbuck to Tav, and you have been gifted back 2 sawbucks, Vera.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But that's not all.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
coming from
you.
Akadoroku, I need you to roll me a d20, because you also find something a little bit more interesting along the way.
Another tankard of endless ale.
Oh my god, give me 2.
roll the
I
same
will
thing.
double fist tankards of ale. I got a 16.
Is that what you rolled last time? No, it's not. Okay. For a
Am I
second,
just
thought
turning
you
into
rolled-
like a magical? Oh.
You find, outside their cottage, a little bit before you actually get to land, just sort of caught on a fence post, something catches your eye. It's a brightly colored, almost rainbow sort of tie-dye bit of fabric that's just
Ooh.
sort of flapping along the ground, caught just kind of in the scrubs and the brush along the outside of the fence. As you pick it up, you hear the small jangling of bells that adorn both ends of what look to be a very nice scarf.
I'm gonna put it on.
You have
I'm immediately putting it on. I don't know what
Put it
it
on
is, but it
immediately.
looks fun.
It does
That's
look fun.
scarf.
As you put it on immediately, do you have read RR detect magic, right? You got one of those
I
two
probably should
things.
have used that first.
And you start getting choked to death.
Oh no, I might.
Make a
Great.
fortitude save.
Check.
Oh,
Oh no!
wait, really?
No.
Wait, really?
No.
Oh, this will teach me to trust anything. I do have
No,
the
yes.
aura.
With read aura, that's the one that lets you identify an individual thing here.
Yeah.
Coming from chat, you find the magic about this scarf actually very easy to, ironically, unravel. The scarf itself seems to, even though it's just been caught up in scrubs and sticks, perfectly intact. A relatively potent aura of illusion hangs across this. And just as you put it on, you feel yourself a little inspired, a little bit more nimble. This dancing scarf does 2 things. The first of which is very simple. If you're wearing it, you would get a bonus to any performance checks to dance, such as your typical circus performance. That's a pretty good one to roll. Makes up for the tankard that didn't super mesh with you last time.
I mean, I could get
but-
drunk all the time now.
That's true. You can get drunk and you can dance. But secondly, it's got an interesting application. If you use an action to dance and you are successful, you can, as a second action, cast this scarf off around you, and it will join into your movements. It will whirl around your body, almost obscuring you, forming a bit of a protective cloud, concealing you until the start of your next turn against anything, really.
Oh, that's so cool!
It's neat.
I can just start dancing during battle. Dance battle. Okay,
You
I
can
know my
dance
new
battle.
skill.
Scratch Flame Artist, Dance Battler. That's where we're going. Drunken Dance Battler.
So with that in hand, a quick survey of the small cottage which is nothing more than a single chamber, almost a small thatched roof, little stone and timber studio apartment. Looking even in the windows outlooking the road would show that nobody is home. There are a pair of cots, bunk bed style against one corner opposite from a stove and wash basin, with a couple of dressers and cabinets and rooms to store things. Nothing looks out of the ordinary, nothing looks ravaged. It looks perfectly mundane, and nobody's home.
Is there anything that I can steal from here that would help us? I am good at that.
You typically don't really need a thievery check to take unattended items in an abandoned house. That's what I think anyone can be at just picking them up. Really,
it's like my little secret thing that I do that I like.
But if you wanted to break into the little cottage without, kicking the door in, a thievery check might get you in the front. It's gonna take you a minute. It's not, and you got your whole party here. But if you want to do that, you can. Walk up, pop out your lockpicks, and just start going to town.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, are we already in, or are we not in?
Well, the door is locked if you're trying to get into it.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. Tav is gonna check with everyone to see what we want to do. I know I didn't say this before you guys, but I'm actually not so bad at picking locks. We can keep that in this little circle. So, do you guys want to go in? Yeah. You're like right.
Yeah. Didn't we learn about this bar or this barn from the bar that had the meat people?
Yeah.
Definitely.
The barn is farther out afield. You're at their small little cottage on the road.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can see the barn, maybe 100 yards back.
Or should we just go to the barn?
Was there windows?
Well, I mean-
We could look in at least.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying, is you could look in and see there's no one there. That's the room that I described as the cottage, if that was unclear,
right.
sorry.
No, you're good. So do you guys want to go in? Do you want to, there's nobody in there.
Check it out.
Yeah? Okay, I can do it really
Check out the
quietly.
barn. Okay.
Give me a thievery check. She
Okay.
just really wants to pick this lock.
I just want to know what's in there. I just really want to know. And
I want to see their stuff.
And it's getting me really excited.
Giving
Okay.
a bad name to circus folk.
All right. Oh,
I mean, you murdered somebody.
He was coming.
You unmurdered him.
I unmurdered him, that's true.
+7. Is that 15?
With a 15, they have a very simple lock upon their door, a little more than a latch that doesn't even really require picking per se, so much as just a shim to get through. And a 15 would get you into their small cottage with no difficulty.
Okay. So she just quickly pulls out a little piece of metal and fidgets with it and slides it through the door and just creak, it opens. All right, let's go check it out. See if there's anything useful in here. And we walk in, and
the space inside is barely large enough for the four of you. It is a very humble little single room home. They even have a separate outhouse out back. There's little of interest in here. It's immediately apparent. They have an interesting little crystalline, almost dream catcher kind of thing, hung on the wall, not above the bed, but near it. And some basic cutlery and utensils are spread across a table set next to the stove up against the wall. All of the furniture in here having to be against the walls just to have any space within the cottage to move about. But they're, if you're going through their stuff, their dressers and cabinets are full of simple clothing and tools. A large trunk near the door would have an assortment of feed for whatever livestock it is they have. If you're trained in nature, you can tell they probably mostly have cows or horses and larger quadrupedal sort of things, and less sort of chickens and whatnot, as well as buckets, scrub brushes, and basic cleaning supplies to deal with their day-to-day on the farm. Not a lot here looks intriguing.
I'm not really worried about what's in the barn based on the feed here. It looks like it's just basic livestock, but they do have some knives if anybody needs a weapon. That's all
I
I'm
think
seeing.
we're okay. Does the place look abandoned? Like, is there dust around?
Not really. It doesn't. If it's been abandoned, it doesn't. It hasn't been a long time.
Okay.
It doesn't look. It just looks as if they've gone to market and haven't returned yet. But well, you've seen at least one of them yesterday.
Yeah. This is their place.
This is their
Yeah.
barn. Yes.
Oh.
This is the halfling witch's place, or the
No, this is the guy who.
This is both. This is where the dwarven woman from the muggers, the Mad Mug, said the barn was where she said she'd seen the halfling witch disappearing to, and this is the barn of the two brothers that are missing. One of which was the skin sack in the church.
I was gonna
It's
leave
both of
money,
those
but
things.
they're dead probably.
Got it. This was the worm man that went out of the mouth, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, Tav, we encountered some demons, and the person
Okay.
who lived here used them as a human disguise.
Oh, that's very dark.
Yeah.
Very dark magic. Very not cool. Oh, wow. That's they live here?
They did live here.
Did.
There was the lady at the pub said that there was a halfling witch that would vanish into the barn.
Oh. So that's
Yeah.
what might be in the barn?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or like witch
Oh gosh.
accessories.
So on second look, wow, there's actually a bunch of really cool crap in here. That, as a matter of fact, is also even
Yeah, go on.
labeled to the heroes of the Circus of Wayward Wonders. Please take us. Don't feel bad about stealing. Courtesy of Digital Gallimaufry, who has a magical item for Sam, Erin, and Jared to get everybody else caught up here.
Aw,
Nice.
So sweet. I love it.
It's almost like they knew you were coming. They must have really liked your show and also totally not been dead when it happened. So why don't the three of you also roll me d20s?
Okay.
I updated this list, but if anyone rolls a 16, it's
They
gonna
also
be
get a
funny.
scarf.
They also get a scarf because
We
it's
all
the
get
one that I have
scarves.
already.
Matching scarves.
I replaced all the stuff we got the first time.
Oh.
though.
Oh. Well, this
I
is
got
not
my
a skill
first
check.
one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just a table of things. So the good news is it's not a
Okay.
skill check.
Okay, still. Wow.
But I do see that one there, Erin, so we'll start with you.
Okay, great.
You find a small little talisman.
Oh.
It's a bright blue crystal, almost a triangular pyramid, not much unlike a D4 in size and in shape, with a tiny little bit of golden cord attached to it, run through a very small hole near one of the points. This, I don't remember if we've had a talisman before. I think we did expect the Crying Angel pendant from the church. But you certainly wouldn't know about them, is a neat thing in Pathfinder 2nd Edition that are almost the martial version of scrolls. Anybody can use them. Talismans are things you can affix one of to your weapon or your armor, and then they are one-use little consumables. And this potency crystal here, when activated as part of an attack with the weapon it's attached to, would turn your weapon into a +1 striking weapon for the rest of the turn, giving it +1 to your attack roll and an entire second die of damage.
Okay, so a strike
That's
one,
nice.
+1 of striking to my weapon, and then also what?
That's what +1 of striking does. So, like your short sword,
Oh,
for
okay.
instance, you have your attack roll would be
Yeah.
1 higher, and then your damage is d6 plus 2. So if you put this hypothetically on that, it would be 2d6 plus 2 for the rest of that turn.
Okay, so it's just one-time use of that.
It's a one use, yeah, one use that burns out the power. They're neat little cheap trinkets you can that are a new thing to this system.
Very
What did
cool.
you get, Jared?
I have rolled a 12.
12. Yours is bracelets. What exactly do these look like again? You would find a pair of what look to be fairly plain silvery bracelets that are little more than a thick banded single wire. They're very light. And these would be bracelets of dashing, which give you a +1 to acrobatics if it comes up, but more importantly, once per day, as one action, you can invoke the magic in them to gain 10 more feet of movement speed for 1 minute, which is 10
So
turns.
good.
You can get pretty fast.
Very cool.
And Sam,
Good for when I want to bonk.
you got a 5.
Nimacre.
5 is another little talisman. It's a rather large claw, about the size of an entire index finger, set into an iron clasp and chain. This talisman is a little bit interesting. You activate it when you critically hit something with the weapon it's attached to, and it gives you what is called the critical specialization effect of your weapon. So what's your primary weapon?
My fists?
All right, that's fair.
up?
That's a fair point.
Can I just be holding it in my fist?
Yeah, sure. You could just like attach it to your like wristband or something. Fists are brawling weapons. They have a critical specialization
Yeah.
category.
I mean, I have an axe, but I never really use it unless I'm throwing it.
Yeah, you can do it to either. If you did it on your
Okay.
fists, the specialization would be they have to make a fortitude save or they are slowed 1, which means they'll only get 2 actions on their next turn.
Cool.
If you put it on your axe, this is axe specialization's a meme, but it's great. It's great. If there is a target adjacent to the guy you just crit and also in your reach, you hit him too. You cleave right on through.
Okay, noted.
Let me keep all of those various tabs open so I can link them. But as you get all these nice little things here, having collected your wonderful holiday presents from the Lindell Cottage, you make your way out towards the Lindell Barn. And as you do, everybody roll me a perception check.
Which one is that? Is that also D20?
Yes. Pretty much everything except damage is going to be off of a d20.
Copy.
And then you should have a bonus, which if you're looking on Path Builder, it's gonna be like where the AC little shield is. If you go down a little bit, you'll see like a class DC and then perception.
It's not in the skills, it's like right above them.
Perception?
Too cool to be a skill now. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you do the little +7 on the side. Okay. Or mine's +7, but you do
Exactly.
the little formula.
Oh, I did not do good.
So, we'll start with Kasplat. What did you get?
22.
22. How about you, Buddy Perp?
17.
17. Good eyes. Vera?
5. I got a natural 1.
Oh!
Perception modifier is 4? Wow.
Yeah.
Sorcerers only trained in perception? I guess actually half the classes are. I'm just so used to like...
Yeah.
I've only
wasn't
ever
one
played
of them.
marshals and they're all expert.
Yeah, I'm only trained in it, which I don't know why.
Well, it's
You
just
can't
because
even
I
be
think
expert
casters
yet.
are mostly trained.
Yeah.
Tav's expert. Kasplat's
Yeah.
expert.
I don't
Well,
need.
I
I just point out what I'm gonna kill.
Oh, that's not, I'm an
Dev,
expert in my will save. That's what I'm expert in.
Dev, what did you get?
I got a 12.
As the group of you approach the barn here, which is significantly larger than their actual home. It's about 2 stories high, with your traditional large double wooden gate on the front, made of simple timbers and largely unremarkable. It is somewhat overgrown. This does look notably more abandoned than the cottage does. Because Splat, with your 22, you would notice that the wood of the barn itself, the actual structure, looks to be in perfectly good shape. With how much undergrowth and weeds and vinery is climbing up and mounding around the sides of this, you would expect the barn, the actual building, to look much worse than it does. And it looks perfectly fine, which is definitely out of the ordinary. But the group of you, as you approach the doors, ready for a halfling witch or whatever horror demon might be inside, 22 by 1 doesn't see what's in the undergrowth next to the door until a massive green pair of isps, 8 feet across and ringed with small white needle-like fangs, lunge out to snap towards the front of your little group. Before we roll initiative, I think we should take a break.
Oh,
Give you
perfect.
guys a
Oh,
little,
no.
little suspenseful note there,
Woo!
and then we'll come back
Oh!
and see what happens.
All right, 14
Everyone-
minutes, y'all.
14 minutes, apparently, and we'll be right back. Right debt here? That doesn't really fit. Right back here. That's not a
Right.
thing there. We'll be back. Don't go too far.
Inappropriate sound is inappropriate. Don't let the action suffer from a lack of atmosphere. Let Sirenscape set the tone and bring your game to life. See? That's better. Journey to Sirenscape.com to download the app and make it the year of atmosphere at your table. And be sure to watch Dragons and Things every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific on Twitch.
There! I told you guys walking was a stupid waste of time.
Garen!
Huh? But, hold on. We can't be sure that's him.
You killed him!
Oh, no. The tree killed him.
There are no trees in the Windscourge Wastes.
Oh, I think Garen's gonna beg to differ with you.
Can't you get him out?
I could get parts of them out of there, yeah.
So what you're telling me is you teleported Garen into a tree, and you teleported us the wrong way.
It's improbable.
Look around you. Does this look like a place you would call the Windscourge Wastes?
You know what, Craig? Sometimes names can be deceiving. You know, for example, Grimward's Everstrong Wood has nothing to do with magical carpentry materials. Yeah?
Marcus, fix this.
I can't fix dead. Look, I'm sorry, okay? What do you guys want me to do? I told you I only have enough diamond dust to do the spell once. Unless you got a shovel and a bucket, the elf isn't gonna go anywhere.
His name is Garen, you big stupid jerk!
You know, your incompetence is becoming a serious problem.
Incompetence? You guys tried teleporting 5 people to some godforsaken wasteland you've never so much seen a picture of! I'm out! Idiots. Morons. Peasants.
Well, what now?
This is the Windscourge Wastes. This is a desolate wasteland where everyone's gonna die. Stupid, uneducated peasants. Ugh! Everybody thinks Meg's just waving your hands in the air and thinking happy thoughts. I warned you guys something like this could happen. But no, Crag just had to get to his stupid village right now. All that idiot ever has to do is sit around and swing that stupid hammer. He talks to me of incompetence. Maybe I'll just find my own group that'll appreciate me. Screw that. I'll get a tower. I'm gonna set up shop there. Ha! Ha! Or maybe what I'll do, I'll just come along quietly and cooperate.
Do you know where we are yet?
No, and if you don't let me concentrate, I never will. Marcus.
I knew he'd come crawling back.
No, he's in danger.
Where are you going?
To help him.
Why?
Because it wasn't his fault. He did warn us of the dangers. Look, no matter how infuriating he is, Marcus didn't actually do anything wrong. There's probably going to be violence.
Well met.
Oh, good, one of those.
I'm Squire Quigley, Hands of Justice, Righter of Wrongs.
All that, huh? I'm Marcus, wizard.
Oh, I wasn't able to tell without that.
Right.
I'm looking up daring escape plans in Sir Gerard's Guide to Heroic Endeavors. You wouldn't happen to have access to a catapult and several bales of hay, would you?
Ah, you know what? My catapult, it broke down by the river. I had to leave it. It was my favorite one, too.
Never fear, there's still plan C.
The only plan I'm gonna go with is to do whatever the crazies with the spears want and then run away in the night.
That was plan A. It was working brilliantly until they sacrificed Henry to their heathen gods.
Okay, so what's plan C?
We will employ the element of surprise. On 3, I will make a heroic charge at the enemy, and you will overwhelm them with magic. Ready?
That is a terrible idea.
1.
What are you doing?
2.
No, don't count.
3.
Stop, don't do that.
Die by the hands of the righteous. Come, gentlemen, put up a noble fight.
Get him, boys! I want to go back to cooperating. Well hit.
Most people say thank you right about now.
Yeah, thanks. You dropped this.
Brave and noble sir, you have saved my life, and thus I am indebted to you.
Did I? Because I was here to save him, and I wasn't even all that interested in doing that.
Oh, nevertheless, my lord, I am honor bound to serve you until my life should end.
It's Crag, and I don't want any.
And I am Squire Quigley, my lord Crag.
No lord, no sir, just Crag.
Oh, I'll take Lord Marcus and your eminence equally.
What have you done? Oh, fear not, fair maiden. We have vanquished the evil festering in this forest. You seem to be in distress. Perhaps you require the aid of heroes.
That is no fair maiden. That is a dryad, and we are all in big, big trouble.
What I require is that you answer for your crimes. You have trespassed in my woods, defiled my waters, and spilled blood upon my land.
I prefer smoke the unworthy with her.
We humbly beg your forgiveness. Our act was in self-defense. It is the right of struggle by law of nature.
My water still bears the pollution of your wizard, and none of you had any business in my woods to begin with.
Look, I'm not in the mood to stand here and argue about your water and your dead hermits.
Why don't you take a moment to reflect on the fact that they're dead because they got in my way?
How dare you threaten me, barbarian? I have watched the great-grandfathers of the trees around you sprout and grow old. I have seen ages of man flourish, wither, and die. I am the fury of the storm and the strength of the earth.
You are a girl in green paint. I am Crag, son of Horus, rightful heir to the throne of the Bleeding Yak barbarians. I faced down bloodthirsty bandits, a demon, and an ancient dragon. You don't concern me.
Please, please, he doesn't know.
You're lucky I have any respect for your order, child. It's for that alone that I will allow you to leave. Now be gone from my sight, all of you.
I mean to be.
And you. Take with you my curse. Let your love of murder grow black within your heart, and your joy of slaughter become a blight upon your soul. So I bind you.
No!
Crag!
Not now.
Chicken, bone.
That's some intro music. I dig it. Welcome back, everybody, to the greatest role on earth. The horror show that is the musical renditions of a broken calliope. I hate it. As we left off.
Change it.
Don't change it. No, we need this unsettling feeling. It perfectly encapsulates what we are. Although, please do change it. As we left off just a few minutes ago, we were finally making our way down to investigate the Lindell Barn. We've got several leads pointing this direction. The missing brothers, one of which was a skin bag occupied by a worm demon. The leader of the muggers had seen the halfling witch scurrying back and forth from here. And as we approached the doors, we were ambushed from the undergrowth that is slowly claiming this building by a strange...
Is this because I did the Calliope music? You were like...
I think so. The music is cursed.
It's actually cursed. Ponyperf's actually cursed.
Yeah. It's true.
I think we're all back now.
You did it.
You did it.
Hooray.
Oh,
Huzzah.
right on.
We made it.
Magic. The suspense is killing me.
As we were leaving off, I believe Jared was telling us about how they just shut off his internet sometimes. And
the timing is too good, you have to admit.
was the last thing he told us before we went live again.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So true.
I mean, the internet gods heard you, and they're like, "You want irony? Got you."
Oh, as we do the run up again, making our way up to the Lindell Barn here. And as we approach the front door, this barn overgrown by weeds and just catching branches and sprawling shrubs and ferns. Something snapped forth from inside towards, I imagine, Kasplat is probably leading the party here. Well, with the zero fear that she just has in general for everything. And here,
Fear me.
we see this creature, although creature might not even be an accurate term for it. Two almost fleshy-looking, fibrous green tooth discs meshed together at their root into a huge stem. Like a Venus flytrap extending out on a rope-like snake. It's not hard like a tree trunk, but it looks thick and vined and whorled. And as it reaches out towards Kasplat, that's absolutely going to be an initiative roll here. Now, with initiative in second edition, Erin and everybody, because it was kind of, we had to do a break, so I sort of rushed us a little bit here. You can roll, any of you could roll either perception or stealth based on how you were approaching this barn. If you were trying to remain hidden, sneak up on whoever was inside, or if you were more on the alert, ready to defend yourself.
What if my sneak is better than my perception?
Same.
Roll whatever it was you were doing. I don't super mind.
I was being cautious.
You can roll sneak or roll sneak. I didn't ask for the explorations before we came up here, so dealer's choice on this one.
All right.
23.
That's not bad.
21.
Splat. 21. Have.
16.
I'm working on it.
Was
Okay. Oops. Did the wrong thing. My bad.
for some reason the only person whose name shows up on the initiative table. I'm not really sure why.
15.
15. Before we get into this, thank you Party Cruise 88 and the Spruce Lee. The follows. This thing, striking from its hidden position, the shrubbery. I have cool things in here. I feel like I have cool things. I do have a sawbuck. I'm going to use my sawbuck on this thing's initiative because a 2 makes me sad. An 11.
I felt pretty good about it.
11 is much better. That is going to give it a 23 as well. Now, unfortunately, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, monsters win ties. So as this thing comes out from the brush, it is going to lunge outwards towards the pair of you that are approaching. A second one of these flytrap maws extending out on a second stalk. Where the actual body or main mass of this beast is almost unclear, as these huge, thick vines, feet across, just lash out from this dense foliage. One head shooting towards Kasplat, and the other out towards Tav. Now they're going to just make an attack against your armor class, your AC, which should be right up there with the little orange shield at the top of Pathfinder. Okay. And I lost my thing for the guy. There he is. Kasplat! Going to be a 17 to hit.
You hit, baby.
Oh no.
That's okay. I got 40 hit points.
Yeah, barbarians tank more by just not caring about the damage than by not getting hit. Tav, one higher, and 18 to hit you.
Okay, so what do I do?
What is your AC? What is your armor class?
19.
Ooh, got a lot of dex there.
Nice.
It's gonna miss you just barely. So it is going to snap. You got a little bit of a distance there. It has a harder time reaching out you. You're a much smaller, nimbler target. It seems almost designed to go after things like Kasplat, the large, fleshy fridge that doesn't dodge very good. But you are going to take 7 points of damage as it snaps at you. And this will mostly be from the physical trauma of the thing's dagger-like teeth and the force with which it snaps shut on you as it hits. But inside of its mouth, this pink fleshy bit inside within its maw, its saliva burns your skin. Part of this is acidic as well. And as that hits, it's got its mouth around you. Its maw about as big as your entire person. It's got you grabbed as well now.
Am I grappled?
You are grappled, yes.
Noted.
Vera.
I am immediately gonna back away because I do not like this thing. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Well, I always make my maps with some extra space because the first thing the squishy people want to do is run the opposite direction every time.
I'm out.
You think that?
Yeah.
Unless you're Bodhi Perp, who wants to hit it with a stick.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna use my one action to do that, and then fire 2 magic missiles.
Okay.
So 1d4 plus 4, and then do it again.
1d4 plus 1. You do it again.
Oh yeah.
It will automatically hit.
Plus 4. So that's 7 for the first one, and then do I just do it again for the second one?
Plus 1. So 4
plus
on the
1.
first one, yeah. Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
and then just do it again. So 4 from the first missile.
Okay. And then... Oh, I see it. I apologize. 1d4 plus 1. I got who on that one.
6 damage, but 6 guaranteed damage. What's it look like?
So when she does this, the sleep goes through her hands and just goes out into black missiles that hit the creature. And if anybody gets near it, it has that sleep cold feel around it. So there's like a weird wave of energy around it.
And as these two hit the fly trap, it's got one mouth free here, one of these snapping pods that failed to latch upon Tav. It turns out kind of vaguely towards you, opening wide, almost like a solar panel, just spreading, exposing its interior, ringed with fangs on both sides. Just presents itself almost to the group of you. That's 3 actions, so Kasplat.
So, I'm grappled. However,
Yes.
I have a feat called Titan Wrestler. Can I use it to try to disarm and a sense of detaching it from my grappleness or whatever it is?
Absolutely. You have a couple of options when you're grappled.
Okay.
If your goal is I don't want to be grappled anymore, you can make either an athletics check with your Titan Wrestler or an unarmed strike against its athletics. It's just kind of a muscle off to pull yourself out. And if you succeed, you can either free yourself, or because you can wrestle things much bigger than you, reverse the grapple, and then you will be grappling it.
I kind of like that. That sounds pretty fun. So let's do that one. So would I use my Titan Wrestler to kind of like turn that around?
Yeah, you can roll either athletics or an attack just like you were swinging your fist. You can use either one for grapples.
That's a nat 20. That's a 28.
Yes.
Damn!
Murder.
So as you reverse this...
You just see this
Strong.
barbarian dwarf full-on wrestling one of these heads.
And that head is actually completely immobilized now.
I'm kind of choking it out. Like, I want to give it a noogie too.
It is restrained. That head can't do anything. You got that completely under control. And he still have 2 actions left.
Cool. Well, since I am like kind of holding it within the crook of my arm, can I use that as like using my hands to like choke it out maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe punch it with the other hand?
Yeah, give me an attack roll. So reverse into grapple itself is an attack. So your attack with a fist is going to be at a -4 for being your second attack of the turn. But it's flat-footed, so it has a penalty to its defense on account of you have it in a freaking headlock.
Okay, so you said it's my roll -4.
Correct. You add whatever you would normally add, but then -4.
Yeah, I'm trying to math. 16.
16. You thought a fist into it, but this thing is surprisingly thick and hardy. Again, you're not even really sure what part of it beyond this stalk is really the body, and it doesn't seem to be bothered. 16's not going to be enough.
That's a tough bugger. All right, well, I want to try that again. That's my
So if you're going to do
one.
third attack's at a -8.
Okay. Come on, that 20.
Roll 20.
Oh, I did!
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
Wow!
So +8 -8, it's a 20.
Critical hit!
I guess I rolled damage.
Give me your fist damage!
Are you using the charm? What are you using the charm?
Oh yeah, you crit. You can
Claw.
use the charm.
I had that. Yeah, I'm using it. What does it do again? I forgot.
Or is it one time only?
It's one time only, and the one on it's got to make a fort save or it's slowed, which means it'll lose an action.
Oh.
Oh, I want it to lose an action if it's that strong. I want to protect my friends.
Okay, it's gonna make a fortitude save. It seems pretty tough. So fortitude
it
save
does.
is probably not terrible. So on your path builder thing, what is your class DC? That should be right above your perception. It got a 17.
18.
It's slowed 1.
Hell yeah. Get slowed, baby.
That's a turn. That'll do some stuff.
All right. Do you need me to roll damage or?
Oh yeah, I need damage. You heard it too. Give me your damage.
Okay.
Probably should do that.
7.
7. And then it's a crit, so it's double that, so 14. Because Splash grabs things and beating the crap out of it. Bodhi Bird.
Yeah.
I will not get another 20 this entire session.
Don't surprise Kasplat.
Don't spook the dwarf.
Don't tell me the odds.
Yeah.
So, Bodhi Perp, emboldened by Splat, just just plant handling this thing. I'm gonna run forward towards it, but while I'm running, I want to reach down and pick up like a handful of just dirt and sand from this pathway. And as I get right up next to it, I put the dirt and sand in my mouth, and then I cast Gritty Wheeze and expel this grit and sand into a small cloud all over this thing.
What the heck is Gritty Wheeze? All right, what's that do? Is he making a save or?
Yeah, he's gonna get a Fortitude save.
Okay. 31.
Oh, good. Well, let's see. The save is an 18. So
it's a critical success.
Normally, yes. However, water creatures and plant creatures use the outcome 1 degree of success worse than the result.
Whoa!
So it's going to take half damage, actually.
Yeah, so it's a regular. Yes, you're still going to hurt it then. It can't critically succeed.
I mean, it's going to be like worth nothing. But it's going to take half of 5 damage. Oh yeah.
That's 2. 2 damage is 2 more damage than it had taken previously.
I stand there and watch the kind of just like ignore my nonsense, and I glance down at the quarterstaff, give myself a solid nod. For the next
and as you kind of blast these rocks and grit across this second head that it has fanned out towards you, as they strike, you see it snap shut reactively on some of this dirt as it rips across its body. And it pries itself back open, snaps a second time before retaining its original posture here. Tav, then it will be your turn. So this worked out great initiative because you got to see everybody else go first. You get 3 actions, and you can do like anything with those actions. There's no limitation. As you saw with Kasplat, if you attack continuously, you get like a stacking penalty, but you can just attack 3 times. You could move 3 times, any of your various abilities or feats you have. As a ranger, you probably want to start by using an action called Hunt Prey that designates this as the target for some of your other powers.
What about, I saw I have a feat called Monster Hunter that can like identify its weaknesses.
That triggers when you hunt prey. So that's pretty perfect.
Okay. So wait, that doesn't work?
It does, but when you hunt prey, that activates Monster Hunter. Basically, like all of your ranger powers are tied into you picking one enemy and designating that as your target. There only is one enemy, so you're great at stuff like this.
Okay. So I can do it or can't do it?
You can do it.
Okay. So that would help us find its weakness. So that could be one of my actions?
Yep.
Okay.
So what you would do is you're basically declaring that's your target. You're hunting this as your prey. And then that lets you roll a nature check because of Monster Hunter to attempt to identify it. So give me your nature roll.
Okay.
And that's all one action.
Okay, that's 1 of 3.
1 of 3.
Okay, got it. So I would add 5 to it as well?
Correct.
Okay. 24.
24 will absolutely succeed. So as you see this thing, and quickly ready yourself to start to battle with it, you can see that most of its biology, whatever it's made of, whatever body it has, it may not be much more than this, than these 2 tubes twisting back into the undergrowth through not much of an actual creature, not much of an actual mass, almost just a shared rooted stomach. It's not stuck, it can move, but you reckon it's going to be pretty slow, easily outran if things came to it. But due to its makeup, it's going to be, as you might expect, pretty weak to fire, but also fairly acid retardant. It's not going to respond terribly well to that. And then it's marked for your next 2 actions.
And then it's marked for my next 2 actions?
Well, it is marked for your next 2 actions, for whatever you want to do.
Okay. So can I let let everybody else know about that as well? Do they hear that information?
Yeah, you can. That's what you know.
Okay.
You can just like say something quickly. It's not like an action. You can just do that.
Okay. It's you guys. It's weak to fire and to based on I think acid as well. It looks like it's kind of eroded, but it can move. So I know if you use. Go ahead. What is it?
Opposite of that's resistant to acid.
Oh, resistant to acid. So don't throw any acid on it. I can tell.
Yeah, please don't do that, because I'm also grappling it.
Yeah, and Kasplat is stuck in there. So now
Please
it's
be
just like,
mindful.
sorry, Kasplat, we're gonna get you out of there. Can I attack it? Do I know its weak point? I mean, I know it's fire. I don't have any fire on me, but would this be something that I would want to attack or have?
I mean, Kasplat's punching it. She looks like she's doing pretty well. So yeah, you can probably just go in on it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm like demoralizing it with a noogie.
I'm gonna pull.
So whichever weapon you want to pull out, it would be an action to get that ready, and then your third action could be attacking with it.
Okay, I would like to pull out my short sword.
Okay. With a short sword, you will need to get closer to it because you're currently
so I
about
can
10
move.
feet back.
Oh, I see that. Okay, well, what? Okay, so then let me pull out my bow. Can I change that?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll pull out my bow instead, since I'm far
You can
away
also
from
just
it.
like throw a hatchet. Hatchets are totally throwable too if you feel like it. Longbow
Ooh.
is a little hard to shoot point blank. It's a volley, which means if you're within 30 feet, you get a penalty. It's a huge bow for like really long range combat.
Got it. Okay, and it's also kind of like moving, so
Pretty unwieldy, yeah.
It'll be hard to hit. Okay, so then I'll throw my hatchet. I like that. That's a great idea.
Pull it and chuck it.
Okay, Tav pulls out her hatchet and is like, okay, I'm gonna see how this goes. It's like a axe to a tree. She throws it. And then do I roll?
And then you would roll. Yep, the attack that you have on your page there, the +7 to hit, so just D20 +7.
Okay,
Splat's
D20
kind of holding it in place for you, so it's gonna be fairly easy.
Great. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Kasplat.
Yeah, I got you.
Nice.
17 would miss were Kasplat not holding it. But with her holding it down, that's a hit.
Oh, yes, got him. Thank you, Kasplat.
Do I like see this axe just lodge into this sucker in front of me?
I'm sure you do. It goes selling right into the other head.
Yeah, thanks for that. I know that was scary.
Thanks for not hitting me.
You got it.
So then you do D6 +2, but since you are a precision ranger and your first action was to mark it, you do an additional D8. So you do D6 plus D8 +2.
Okay, so roll D6 +8 +2.
Plus D8, yeah. You can do /roll 1d6 plus 1d8 or just d6 plus d8 +2. You can type any like string in there and it'll figure it out.
Okay, +6 and +2.
D6, D8, and 2. Like
Okay. D6 plus D8 plus 2.
that.
Got it. That? Okay, 12.
There you go, perfect.
Nice.
So, what's it look like? What happens?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you do
Okay,
it.
so did I just throw another axe, or is this like after?
No, I mean describe what's happening here. Because you're hitting it, you're doing 12 points of damage. That's a solid freaking hit.
Okay, so the first one was me throwing it, and the second one was me hitting it. The damage.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. So Tav takes the hatchet and throws it, and Kasplat was holding it in place, and it hits it directly next to Kasplat's face, but it almost is like right in its sternum of this being, like right beneath its head, like basically where its neck would be, and it just starts kind of like oozing out, and it screams in pain. And I'm like, yes, I got it. And it's still writhing. It's still alive. It has a second thing, right? It's still kind of like
It doesn't. Your hatchet hits that second mouth. That one that's open that was kind of snapping, sort of sprayed back by this gravel blast.
Okay,
but
great.
as a single hatchet hits into it here, because that's an attack and the gravel blast isn't. That second head is reactively
it was the second
going to snap out to you. And it is going to attack back as a reaction.
It's going to attack me?
I was confident Bodhi Perp was going to give it a good old whack. And it was going to just grab Bodhi Perp.
I tried to change it up. I tried to like...
Yeah, you just sprayed it. So it's like, rocks.
I have my 3 damage. Cool. It's only one of my 3 spells.
Nice.
Okay. She just threw... That was one of her 1 hatchets. So...
One of my 1 hatchets, it just reappears. Back every time.
Against your armor class, it is going to get a 21 to hit you. Oh, wait, it's restrained. It can't. Because Splat's got fully restrained. Doesn't get the snap. It's not just grabbed. It's stuck.
It's stuck?
So, she's... Oh, it's the second head. No, second head. 21. Me no smart. It can't use first head. It can use second head. 21 against your AC of probably 19, I'm going to guess.
Me? Yes.
I can just look at it.
Mine is 19.
So it is going to strike at you for 14 points of damage. And because Splat's got 1 head completely restrained, the other head, reactively snapping back from this hatchet, is going to grab Tav and pull her in. It's got both sides going. It's one head's going terribly, one head's doing okay.
So it pulls me in, but it doesn't hurt me because it was 14 and my armor is 19?
The 19 was to hit you. The 14 is how much damage you took.
Okay.
Which would bring you down to 14, because that's exactly half of what you have.
Okay. And so I would just...
But it does also pull you in. Sorry?
Okay. I would replace that with 14?
Yeah. Probably a place in Pathfinder for that. You edit your health? Oh yeah, you can do your health in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
For Pathfinder.
So it pulls me in. You guys, I'm in a pickle. That hurt really, really bad.
Oh, it's its turn. It's got 1 head that's completely restrained, 1 head that's doing okay, and it's slowed. So first, the left head is going to attempt to, pull itself away from Kasplat. It's not smart, but it does want to eat you, and it's not doing a great job with that right now. So against your athletics DC, it's going to get a 17, which I'm sure is not going to succeed against Kasplat's athletics.
Am I rolling? Sorry.
No, it's just your athletics. Your modifier plus 10 is your DC. Whenever people roll against you, you just assume you rolled 10,
18.
basically. Yeah, it fails by 1. It fails by 1.
It's okay. I can relate to that little plant. I did it earlier.
And as you're wrestling with it here, and it is just absolutely failing, you notice something kind of neat and shiny on the ground near it, as there is a magic item from that one moon kid for Sam here. You ever beat a thing so bad that loot actually just starts falling out of it like it's a pinata?
Coughed it up. It ate it earlier.
It's like how RPGs work, right?
That.
So roll me a d20, Sam, and while you do that, Sean GC 190, Sailor Jupiter's Old Cocaine, and Keiko Washi, thank you for the follows. That's a name. I love it.
8.
8? 8 is... Ooh, 8's interesting. It coughs up a little trident. A little...
a little...
A little guy.
It's like a little Barbie Triton.
Yeah, it's like a sword swallower, I guess. As you just kind of beat that out of it, this brass trident comes out with a strange pattern near the neck of its haft, underneath where the blade divulges into these 3 spines. It looks almost like carved fish scales that just have a little bit of a trace of almost blue highlighting around the edge of them. And you can see there is a point right below that where there's a seam in the thing where it looks like it twists. And what has come out of this thing is a fighter's fork, which is a +1 trident. And if you take one action to twist it, you can throw tridents as well as you can poke with them. Twist it, it extends. And you can't throw it very easily, but it becomes a reach weapon, and you can use it from 10 feet away.
Like, what if I'm a barb who's proficient in throwing when I rage?
Then you can do
Can I
either.
then trident throw?
Yeah, the normal form of it, the short form's absolutely throwable. Tridents are great for pitching at people.
Can we like flavor make it a +1 salad fork because it came from a plant?
Tabitha would like
the
that
fighters.
one,
It's called a fighter's fork, so that's perfect. Yeah, the big old magically enchanted. It's not. It looks like fish scales, but it's actually kind of more like lettuce working its way down the top of the half here.
Like lettuce leaves, not
Almost like a little cherry tomato on the bottom of the half, just an orb there for no particular reason other than flavor. It's got some little random square croutons carved into it as it goes down the length of this thing.
So I guess she's like using her foot to kind of like reach underneath this plant to pull this thing closer to her. So she has it.
So you still got one head completely controlled. The other head has got a hold of Tav. And Tav, I imagine, is a bit smaller than Kasplat as far as total volume goes. And this thing opens and snaps a couple of times, readjusting, and you see the trunk of it twist up, arcing above and down directly onto Tav as it attempts to snap its way down and literally swallow our new elf friend who just got here today. So, you have on your sheet 3 saving throws that are up next to your armor class: Fortitude, Reflex, and Will. Kind of right up above the weapons, armor, gear tabs, the top section. I need a D20. Yeah, D20 plus your Reflex save, which as a Dexy Ranger's probably pretty good.
10. Yeah.
Holy crap, it's really good for a second level character? Okay.
Ooh.
D20 plus 10.
For reflex, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The reflex did not go down this thing's gullet.
All right. 16.
16 is not great, though.
No.
So as it makes a couple of sort of gulping snaps, it physically lifts Tav up off the ground. You see her for a brief moment before this plant second head reopens and pivots to turn towards Bodhi Perp. Tav nowhere to be seen. And it only gets those 2 actions because it was slowed 1. Tav, you are inside this thing now. Good news, so is your hatchet, but like you are also in there.
I got my hatchet
Vera.
back.
I am going to quickly cast Grim Tendrils, which is a Fortitude save on its end. And as I do so, I'm going to send out that streak of cold ice sleep directly to it. And I want to directly hit what is hitting, like, is around Tav. Like, I want to try and make sure I hit that specifically to see if I can get it to cop.
Yeah, you don't even, like, see Tav anymore. Tav is, like, disappeared into this thing's mouth.
I'm trying to make it cough her up, basically.
Right. Okay. So as you blast out this spell here, it's making... That's not a Fortitude save for me, you said.
It's a Fortitude, yes.
Yep. Tav, as you go down this thing's gullet, from just the crushing and the digestive juices, you take 9 more points of damage, which I think leaves you at a 5. I'm doing math here. And it's going to make a Fortitude save. It's going to get an 18.
And that's against my class DC?
Your spell DC. It should be under the spell tab. Probably the same number.
It's 18.
So it will just regular succeed. Is it a basic fortitude save?
Yeah.
And it will take half.
Yeah. So let me roll. So 7 points of damage. And for the success, it'll take half, and there's no bleed.
Okay. So we'll take 3 damage.
Okay. And then for my last, because that's 2 actions, I will then.
Correct.
Oh, I don't have anything else. I'll do a magic missile. As well.
You can shoot one more magic missile. Guaranteed damage,
one
D4
more.
plus 1.
4 damage. And with
Now,
that is the same missiles, the same very cold, dark energies. They're like almost like beams. And I'm still trying to hit that thing and I'm yelling, hey, get her out, get out, get out. Because I can see she's not there. And she was.
So, Kasplats, like you still have a hold of this thing's other head here. Between your punches and Bodhiperp and Vera's magic, and the hatchet did hit pretty hard. This thing is definitely starting to lose some luster. These trunks that are supporting its heads, they're starting to sag. It's starting to look a little ripped and torn up, and a thick, clear sap starting to ooze out in numerous places. You don't see your new friend Tav, but this thing is not doing very good.
In its entirety or one particular head?
Well, the whole of it is pretty injured. Both heads have
Sweet.
been fairly battered.
Can I do any damage from the inside of it, or am I just totally?
Absolutely can when we get around to you. You get to do lots of
Okay.
fun stuff, actually.
Oh, great.
So, I feel as though Splat seeing her new friend that she just adores, being eaten alive, she would begin to rage. Like she would just feel this swelling anger inside of her. And as her grip is tightening around this one head, she wants to grab it by the neck with now her big ol' hands. Can I potentially, real cool factor, use this one head to conk it into the other head?
Absolutely. You still got a hold of it. You can do that.
Oh, no.
You have the one head completely restrained for
boy.
now.
Stop
Make
hitting
me,
yourself.
make me an attack roll. You're
Yeah.
attacking it with itself.
Yeah, I am, baby.
Oh boy, Kasplat's raging. Bad times ahead.
22.
I brought muffins.
22 will absolutely hit.
The
Sweet.
high rolls, man.
Well, no,
I
it's
roll
the plus
for
8. The
So
plus
roll
8
me
is
instead of a. I think your unarmed is usually a D4. Since you have an entire massive toothy trunk you can use as a weapon, use a D6 instead of a D4 for your unarmed damage.
Okay, I got that out.
It's like a big old flail.
Yes. Oh, I got a 6. So, am I still adding my plus 4 to it?
Yeah, plus your normal damage.
So 10.
Okay.
And then, do I get anything from rage? Let me look.
I think it's 2 higher than that for raging. I did minus 12. I'm pretty
It
sure
is
you get the
additional 2 damage. Yeah, so 12.
So as you slam one head into the other, the thing almost seems to stop fighting for a brief moment. The head's drooping as the snapping has been replaced with almost kind of slow pawing towards Bodhiperp on the other end. You got one action left from raging and striking.
I'm gonna do it again.
Minus
Minus 4?
yeah. Minus 4 because your fists are agile. If you're beating the head with another head, it's going to be the full -5. It's definitely not quite
Okay.
as agile as your fists are.
Okay.
That's not in the rule book, Squid.
Okay, that's not bad.
I don't
Hang on.
think there's rules for hitting one head with another head. We're in uncharted territory here, Jared.
23. Because I rolled a 19.
23 will hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murder.
Again.
You get the full damage, FD6 plus the normal plus your 2 for maging.
10. You just
Was you
like see Kasplat grabbing like the one that she's got, and not fully grappling the other one, but like kind of getting her arm around it and going like, "Let go of my friend!" Just bashing this sucker in.
And she may not have even noticed in her rage, but after a couple of these slams, the second head is just laying listless on the ground. This thing is no longer fighting. It seems like it may very well be dead.
Yeah, she for sure isn't noticing. Just real angry.
There's no sign of Tev, who is still disappeared inside this thing. Bodhi perv.
You're muted.
Screaming into the void.
Yeah. I was practicing. Being untrained just means I don't get a proficiency bonus on a thing, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Knowing that Tav is inside, I had this longsword that we got from somewhere. I forget exactly where. I think it was probably... It's not magical or anything, I don't believe. But I'd like to use it, like grab the thing, just start cutting away the detritus and the coarse plant skin husk.
And it's a pretty big husk, but with you don't actually need to roll anything for this. Once it's dead, with 3 actions, trained or untrained, you can use this to hack enough away that Tav, covered in very sticky plant goo, comes tumbling out from within this thing's throat onto the grass next to you.
Hey, are you okay?
That was one of the grossest things I've actually ever experienced, and I've experienced some ish out there. Yeah, I'm fine.
Run up.
Welcome to the group.
Welcome. I'm gonna prestidigitation and clean her up.
Thank you.
I don't want to say this in the meanest way, but you look really hurt. And I'm going to reach in and pull out the elixir that the professor gave us when we first started and give it to her. This is an elixir. This might help a little bit. It might heal some of the wounds internally.
Thank you so much.
And that will give you... it was a minor elixir, right, Squiiddish?
It's a minor elixir of life, correct.
Okay. So it's a 1d6 plus 1 for that. So I'll just roll that real quick and you'll get back...
The +1 is a bonus on saving throws to poison and diseases. You get D6 is the help that you get.
Gotcha. So you get 4 points of healing back. Not much, but...
Hey, that almost doubled the amount of health that she has, so...
Yeah. That hurt. Thank you. I'm feeling a little bit better. I really appreciate that. That was insane. You guys are so nice.
Make sure you get your hatchet back.
I got it right here. It's covered in goo, and she's just like, "Don't worry, that's my lucky hatchet. I needed that." But boy, it's like I started off well, and then it always just sometimes, goes to poo.
It's okay.
Goo.
Well, at least we don't smell like poo. Like Duke or Danica.
Where someone doesn't get covered in something.
Yeah, that's true. Weirdly true. I feel like every time somebody is covered in something, vomit, goo.
Yeah.
Fought a lot of pretty horrible things. Hey, you had a good fight with the muggers on the porch. No one's covering anything there except spilled beer, maybe.
Just guilt.
Just guilt.
Well, we still got this barn.
So this plant, this beast here lays dead. You can see through this gash that like half Tev was trying to hack from the inside and Bodhi Perp cut from the outside, a glint of something else that was in its stomach with her. And looking
You want to
at
touch that?
Oh.
I'll get
Does
it.
anybody want to touch it? You're
I'll
already
get
in there.
it. I was in there already. I might as well. Hey.
You bend down. See, there are a pair of things.
Mhm.
There is what appears to be a lapel pin of a silver 6-pointed star and a single leather boot.
Oh, see! I told you.
Look at this. What do you recognize it?
That's the sheriff.
Oh, it looks like a sheriff pin.
In the boot? Is that the mayor's or the sheriff's? Probably the
I don't know.
sheriff's, huh?
Probably
I
the
don't know.
sheriff.
That means they did
Oh
it.
no.
Halfling witch did it.
Well, I guess it wasn't a bear, like people thought.
Unless she's a bear.
Well,
Do we need these
Well-
things, or can I just toss them back in the goo?
We might
Maybe
want
we
to give
should
it back to their
keep 'em.
family or something.
Yeah. Well, I
Or
guess
that makes
is-
you the sheriff. You're the
I
sheriff
couldn't-
now of this town.
No, I couldn't possibly. I belong not with many people, to be
You're
honest.
hired.
Is anyone else want it?
Yeah, nope.
No.
You're reluctantly, but congratulations.
you hold the conch.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I'm not a very tall person. I couldn't, or elf, not a very tall elf, couldn't possibly take this into. All right, okay. Well, hang on to it for now. What about this boot, though?
Is it a nice boot?
No, it's kind of smelly. Everything kind of smells. I'm not gonna lie. You might want to stay a couple of feet away. I don't know.
Well, maybe we could bury it, since we can't bury a body.
Maybe we could bring it back for their family?
Well, let's
Yeah.
leave it right here for now, because it's gross.
Okay.
Yeah. I
That
don't want it
sounds
in my
good.
bag.
I'll hang on to the sheriff badge for now, but doesn't mean I'm a sheriff. But I'll hang on to it.
Yeah, it does.
So, like,
Yeah.
did the halfling witch
Just like
turn
you're a circus
sheriff
folk now.
into the-
You're an acrobatic elf.
Quite an
Sure.
adventurous day. All right.
This is how things have been in Aberton. You go out to do something, it seems like it's probably simple, and then a horrible monster attacks you, and you question why anybody here is still alive.
I
But-
absolutely questioning that.
You hear nothing coming from the barn itself, though you knew nothing before you approached the door of this horrible plant monster that waited outside.
Should
We
we-
can I like I don't know. I think we should look around before just running in.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of weak still. Maybe we should take a look
Okay.
around.
Yeah. And actually I'm gonna reach out and if you don't mind, Tav, I have one more ability that I can use to help you.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
sure.
cast Soothe. To give her 1d10 plus 4 hit points back.
it's very kind of you.
I am very tired now. You get 6 more HP.
Hey, that's
Thank
almost
you.
doubled the amount of hit points that she has.
I'm not doing so well on how many points you're getting, but
Blow all
Hey,
your
it's
good
better than
rolls in the
nothing.
beginning!
I did.
Feeling a bit better.
As
not a
you-
healer.
As you are tending to Tav in the back, either Tav, you yourself, or Vera could roll a medicine check to attempt
Mhm.
to just tend to your wounds normally with bandages and salves and whatnot.
Mhm.
Well, Bodhi, Perp, or Kasplat, or both could give me perception checks to look through the overgrowth around the barn. if you
I'll do
want.
a
I think you
medicine
should do it.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
Okay.
24.
24 for the perception?
Flat.
Yeah.
19 for mine.
It's mine.
As you two look around, you would each find something interesting. Kasplat, you would find another small little talisman. A pyramidal-headed spike with a very short little haft and what looks almost like a single thick link of iron. It's almost certainly a talisman of some kind, but since chat didn't give this one to you, you don't get to identify it for free, and we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Bodhi Perp, looking through, you would find nothing quite so impressive, but a fine silver chain necklace that looks like it's just been cast aside amongst the thorns here. That looks to be quite valuable. It's nothing fancy, but it's probably worth 15 gold.
All right.
It's very
Put
well
it
made
on.
and in good condition. And
Just put it on.
Av, what did you get for your medicine? It's not magical, so you can just throw it on, yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. With a 20, you are, I assume, trained in medicine?
Yes.
I did assume that. I think we went up, but you did one before. That
think
was the first
so.
thing you did.
Yeah.
Then you will heal yourself for 2d8 hit points. So you can slash roll 2d8 and touch yourself up with these bandages here.
5.
Okay, 5 more. We're slowly hacking away at
Yeah.
the amount of health that Ev has. You make up to 20. That's pretty good.
All right.
Mostly
Better than
recovered.
nothing.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I know it was quite a lot of effort to heal, but I am feeling much better. Thank you.
Good.
I had
Yeah,
some-
that was terrifying.
Yeah, wow. It's one of my more eventful days, I'd say. I don't know about you guys, but whoa.
This
To
is.
be honest, this is probably average for the last
Oh,
couple.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it feels pretty normal right now. Not like everyday normal,
Yeah.
but since we got here, this is pretty on par. Almost dying
Alright.
every
To
day.
normal. Yeah.
I don't think we should keep going outside anymore.
Just stay home and never leave.
Well,
While
we're
you
halfway
are at the
done.
barn, we are here. The barn awaits.
Are there windows on the barn, or like a hayloft?
Yeah, there is definitely, it's a 2-level barn, so it's pretty tall. And it looks like it would normally have had plenty of openings for ventilation and windows along the side, but they have been all but consumed by this growth.
Can I do my trick with Ballast to fly up and look through his eyes?
Absolutely.
see if I can find a way through.
Well, there's a door. It's a barn.
Well, I mean,
but-
like to get inside information.
Fair enough. Ballast is small enough. He could work his way through some of the little gaps here. Worm his way in through the dense foliage and into one of the windows and reach the dark interior of the barn. As they're choking out all of the light that would reach this, like Kasplat chokes out anyone that decides to roll initiative against her. Does Ballast have dark vision?
Let us see. He is a flash beetle.
He does.
Low
I
light
think he
vision.
gets what you give. Low light vision.
Yes.
With low light vision, you would be able to see that it is clearly an animal barn. It's got a row of stalls along the west wall and 3 big cubicles on the eastern wall. But you can't make out much else there. It's almost pitch blackness. So even low light vision, you can barely see the shape of the space. You get nothing if it were not for that. You don't see
Alright.
any movement, however.
It's pretty dark. Not a lot of movement in there. We could
Want me to
probably
bust
go-
in?
Yes. Do your door thing. I enjoy that.
Door thing. Do we have time for me to do my door thing, DM? So to
Oh,
speak.
absolutely.
All right.
You got
she
a
wants to
moment. If you
bust in.
As you step up this large barn door and just crash through it, the light of day spilling in from this doorway to remove the pitch black darkness and replace it with this dimly lit, haunted interior of just floating particles of dust and straw and these streaming beams from this one entryway. It wouldn't properly illuminate much more than the closest cubicle next to you. Anyone with any farm experience at all would recognize these as just hay and tack compartments, as well as a ladder to your left leading up to the loft above. The barn itself does look like it's quite abandoned, but even just in this entryway, you can see that something terrible took place here. The floor all throughout this 10-foot wide cubicle next to you and the doorway is slicked with dark, congealed blood and clumps of bits of meat and viscera. There's 2 small lumps, couple of feet across, rising maybe 8 inches above the ground in the cubicle, which at first look like discarded clothing, but as you peer into the doorway, you realize are 2 more discarded skin bags, just like what you'd seen left behind from the worm demon before. Both of them are adorned in simple gray robes with hooded cloaks, adorned with this single leaf, the dewdrop on the end that you've now seen so many times.
Vera vomits.
On the floor, next to them, where it looks like it's just been cast aside, is a wooden holy icon, a religious symbol of Gazra. Not the leaf, but like the boughs of a tree arcing out almost fractally. But Kasplat, who for some reason speaks Abyssal, as you look down on it, you can see that it has been covered in carvings, defaced almost throughout with what you would recognize as demonic sigils.
Oh, more demons in here?
Yep.
There is, fortunately, nothing living in the barn, it seems. Whatever they have done here, they seem to be through with. But at this point, it is all but certain the mayor's probably wrong. Something is terribly amiss at the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning. That's going to have to wait, because that's all the time that we have for today.
No!
We return next week.
Oh boy.
I think we're going to have to go to the Hermitage, guys. As I think the druids might be evil. I think
What
they
would
might
give you
have
that
demons.
idea?
I don't know if the druids are evil. I think demons are taking them over.
No! No, man, with the raid, we're at the end! Okay!
I was looking
we'll
to
raid
raid
it
them when
forward.
we wrapped up.
That was what you had
over there.
We were gonna raid you! You can't raid us, we're raiding you!
Well, welcome.
Well,
I mean, we're wrapping up, but we're gonna continue the raid train, so hang around. We'll
We'll
find
just draw
something
forward. Before we go, TLC 1979, thank you for the follow in that last arc there. And that one Moon Kid for the sub support. Hey there, No Man. Thank you for the raid. We're going to go on an adventure to somewhere else. This is the end of our episode today. But next week, next episode, we are most certainly going to have to go deal with this Hermitage of Blessed Lightning. You'll find us here, same dat time, same dat channel. Until then, check out all of the other cool content, a bunch of other campaigns they got running here. Kings of Dirt. The one I don't want to screw up the pronunciation of Shambhala. Like, I get there. It just takes me a couple of guesses, and hopefully see you soon. Thanks for hanging out.
We're off. We're dark tomorrow. There's no odd jobs tomorrow, but Thursday we're back with the second episode of Avatar Legends: Book of Harvest. Amazing new show.
The Avatar one now.
Yeah. We start with the new Magpie game system, the one that broke Kickstarter. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thank you, everyone. That's a lot of cool dad content coming this next week. Good night for now, though. Appreciate you joining us. We didn't die. Another day, no deaths. It's good enough. Good in our books.
No death.
Death under my
Not yet.